Hello. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing today? I'm gonna give you guys a chance to get in here while I get some stuff figured out. Oh, this is at least one of my Serenity pots. It's not the furnished one. This is just where I plant stuff and farm realm currency. It's not that pretty. Hello, Emma. Hello, ahahaha, if you're still here. Afif. I don't know if I said that right. Linart. Don't know if I said that right, but hello. Hello, Biade Akamatsu. How you doing? How you doing, Sam? Hello, Alec. Hello, Lucas. Hello, Neko. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy my videos. I have not done anything today, so I'm gonna have to do like daily commissions and stuff before we go exploring. Hello, Gian Nunez. How you doing? Hello, Jonathan. How you doing? Hello, Sunrays. How are you? Yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna do some dailies and then we can get into the good stuff. Yeah, let's do lore. I'm really excited to talk about Sumeru lore because y'all, so much has happened. The sin of capped resin, yes. I wish it went above 160. I just wish it did. At least 180. Like, that's reasonable, isn't it, Mihoyo? Like, come on. Like, come on. But yes, let's talk about lore. How did you guys like Sumeru's Archon quest? Let's start there. 169. Oh my gosh. Copium? Yeah, it's definitely copium. I don't think they're gonna move it anytime soon. I feel like 160 is an okay number, but they could bump it up a little bit. Amazing, trippy, but good. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was very trippy. Did anybody get stumped on like the parts where you had to piece the stuff together? Where like the traveler was like thinking about it? I was like, what the fuck is this? It was cool, but I was like, what is this? Your favorite Archon quest at the moment? Yeah, it was a pretty good one. I can't wait to see like the rest of it because we are not quite done yet. We have like 2 more patches, right, before it's actually done. I think, right? Where's next? Here, let's just go down here. To be completely honest, I haven't even started the quest. What? Akamatsu. Shame. You got too wrapped up in exploring in Aranyaka. Okay, that's fair, because the Aranyaka quests are really long, and they're also very, very good. Yeah, Nahida called me stupid a few times. Yeah. Amazing Archon quest. Didn't like Nahida as a character. The Dookie quote pulled me out of immersion real bad. Oh yeah, I found that to be, oh, well, look at this, convenient. What do you need? I have both of those things. I found the Dookie thing to be random but funny. Give Nahida a chance, you know? I mean, this is like her first little Archon quest that she popped up in, and she wasn't even present for like a good bit of it. But we should get to know her even more over the next 2. So, okay, Apple, let's address the elephant in the room. Kusanali was found at the same place where Rukkhadevata died, but have people from academia found the body of the previous Archon? Maybe she is in the same state as Guoba. So you're saying that she is like a reduced form of Rukkhadevata. And I mean, that's very possible. But actually, now I have a different, after learning about the Goddess of Flowers and the Scarlet King, I almost am like, what if Kusanali isn't like an offshoot of Rukkhadevata or a weaker or reduced form of Rukkhadevata, but the goddess of flowers, at least in some part. The only reason I say this is because we've been getting a lot of moon imagery, right? With Nahida specifically. Like a lot of moon imagery. Wait, who is this? Who are you? Let's have a competition. Oh, are you one of those little things that's around and I get a chest after this? Yeah, you are. Okay, to break the stone piles first and then the chest. Okay, the stone piles first and then the chest. Okay, so stone piles first. Or did it say crates, not chests? I can't read. I think that was the last one. Yeah, it was. What was I talking about? The moon. Okay, yeah. There's a lot of moon stuff surrounding Nahida. And, oh gosh, Akamatsu. I know you're not finished. But let's just say there was a bit of Seelie lore dropped. And they specifically said there was a Seelie who had survived whatever happened to the Seelie in the past and ended up going into the desert and serving a king. Now, my interpretation, and I assume a lot of people's interpretation, is that this king was probably the Scarlet King. And if you guys know anything about the Scarlet King, him and Rukkhadevata and the Goddess of Flowers were all friends. So if they're talking about them, if one of them was a Seelie, my guess is it was either Rukkhadevata or the Goddess of Flowers. I'm leaning towards the Goddess of Flowers because of the whole Colin Otto XP thing that people have been talking about a lot. Like, Kusanali is an XP of Teresa, and if you guys know who Teresa Apocalypse is, she's a clone of Colin. And the Scarlet King and the Goddess of Flowers had a very similar relationship. Not like relationship as in they were together, but like a similar relationship to how Otto and Colin had it. So Otto was in love with Colin. Colin did not return his affections. The same kind of situation seems to be happening with the Scarlet King and the Goddess of Flowers. So I am convinced, very convinced, that their story is going to be a frame story for the first Seelie and the Traveler from Afar. I'm even more convinced of this because, you know, the city that they built together, the Scarlet King and the Goddess of Flowers built this city in the desert together, and they named it and built it in, wait, hold on. Let me just read it off to you. Where the frick did I read that? It's in one of the lore books where it talks about, no, it's not this. It definitely isn't this one, but this is a very important book, by the way. But this is not the one I'm talking about. This is also a book we're going to talk about in a second. The Folio of Foliage. Wait, give me a second. I'm also going to read comments in a second, guys. Sorry. I didn't expect this to be as long-winded as it is. Where is it? Actually, it might be in the little things that we got here, because some of the books we got from this. I think it was in The Shepherd and the Magic Bottle. Yes, here. Okay. Olimar, which is allegedly the name of the Scarlet King, or like one of his titles, harnessed the spirits with bridles and yokes, learned from their laments about the story of the dismal moon and the driving morning star, and built the majestic Kanum. Sorry if I mispronounced that, I definitely did, but Kanum, the city of amphitheaters, or city of the moon maiden. So it sounds like they made this city. And I think one of the items, either one of the artifacts or one of the weapon ascension materials, one of them states that the Scarlet King and the Goddess of Flowers, built this city together. And if The Scarlet King learned about the story of the dismal moon and the driving morning star. My interpretation of this is he learned about the story of the first Seelie and the Traveler from afar. Now, if you guys have watched my videos, I'm assuming you guys have, I've talked about the first Seelie being either one of the Moon Sisters or like affiliated with the moon somehow. I mean, she's a Seelie. The Seelie seem to have something to do with the moon anyway, so yeah. And then I've also said that Phanes is very similar to the Travelers. The Travelers, if you saw my Paimon video, might be a spin on Lucifer, who is called the Morning Star. So if this is actually talking about a Traveler, like code name for Traveler, then maybe this is talking about the Traveler from afar and the first Seelie. If that makes any sense. I'm gonna put this in a video and it's gonna sound a lot better than what I just said, but yeah. But anyway, I say all of that to say, since the Goddess of Flowers and the Scarlet King seem to have a similar relationship to how Otto and Colin did in Honkai Impact, it's possible that they're being that the Scarlet King and the Goddess of Flowers are being used as like kind of, what's the right word? It's so hard to explain. As like a frame story for the first Seelie and the Traveler from afar. If that makes any sense. You know how everything is in a loop? It's like they're telling the same story again, but just with different people who are kind of based, oh my god, XPs, basically, yes, XPs. But oh my gosh, I'm not explaining this well. But anyway, the Goddess of Flowers might be this Seelie, because of how similar it sounds like she is. Allegory is a good word for it. Frame story, what's another word? Symbolism, all of that. But if the Seelie who survived is truly either Ruka Devata or the Goddess of Flowers, then it makes sense that Kusanali has a whole bunch of moon imagery. She said she was like a moon. And also, the Goddess of Flowers had power over dreams, right? And Kusanali also has powers over dreams. Like, I think one of the pieces of lore says that she being the Goddess of Flowers was like the mistress of dreams or something. So that makes me even more suspicious. I don't know if Kusanali actually is an offshoot of Ruka Devata, but instead an offshoot of the Goddess of Flowers. But there's a lot of things that don't make sense with that, because the Goddess of Flowers died like long before the cataclysm happened. So I don't know if Ruka Devata did something.
There is no escape.
Possibly preserved something like a memory or something of the Goddess of Flowers. I don't know. Or maybe Kusanali really is just Ruka Devata's... just Ruka Devata in like a completely reduced form. But I'm suspicious ever since they teased that a Seelie had survived and went into the desert to serve a king. Very suspicious now. Okay, wait. Let me read. Let me oh my god, I missed a whole bunch of comments. I'm so sorry, everyone. Hi, Fear. How you... Fear. Sorry. How you doing? The longest quest with greatest information. Yeah. Aranara. Hello, Cosmo Taco. Dookie was amazing. It was pretty funny. Hi, Yomi. How you doing? Oh, hi, Uniharu. How you doing? She doesn't recognize herself as a true Archon, but with flaws. Yeah. I'm just interested to hear the whole secret behind Kusanali. Because like Inazuma, it seems like there's gonna be a twist. Because like no one, I don't think anyone called out that A or the Raiden Shogun had a sister, a twin sister, and that's why everything was all weird with who was the previous Archon in Inazuma. Because I don't think anybody initially called out that she had a sister. So I'm excited to see where they're going with Kusanali. I mean, what if Rukkhadevata became an aranara? That's interesting. Speaking of her, I think a lot of people, first of all, are confused by the aranara terms, which I think I might make a video on the aranara. Do you guys want that, of like a definition of the terms and then like important aranaras and like a summary of like specifically just their history, how they dealt with the Cataclysm, when they came into being? Because I don't think it was immediately clear, but that person, Queen Aranyani, I'm pretty sure that's probably Rukkhadevata. Because I think there are people who don't think it is, but I think Queen Aranyani is Rukkhadevata. Wait, hold on. And I have reasons for that. Hold on. Let me read. I'm sorry, y'all. Hello, Alpha. How you doing? What exactly happened to the Scarlet King exactly? I don't think Rukkhadevata killed him. No, from what it sounds like, he caused his own demise. He, like, went into a depression after the, Goddess of Flowers. From what it sounds like she intentionally died, and I'm not quite sure what the whole story is behind all of that. But it sounds like she intentionally planned her death or something like that, which makes her even more like Colin, because Colin was about to offer herself up and willingly go to her execution. So the Goddess of Flowers has like a lot of parallels with Colin, but yeah, I have no idea, but he went into a depression after that. It sounds like he made some sort of hive mind out of his people and himself and like joined. Y'all, it's weird. It's weird. I have to like process my thoughts, but here's what I'll say about the Scarlet King. When I read about Al-Ahmar in this book, you want to know who immediately jumped to mind as soon as I read about him and what he did? King Solomon. Especially like the Islamic interpretation of King Solomon. Because King Solomon was also a dude who had control of the spirits of the world. He controlled the wind. He had a whole bunch of jinn under his command. He enslaved demons. And I am currently in the process of doing part 2 of Sun and Moon. We are going to talk about the primordial one a little bit, and my personal belief is that King Solomon and the primordial one are probably one and the same. Like, the primordial one is probably based on King Solomon a little bit, because we know that the gods of this game are named after demons from the Lesser Key of Solomon. So why wouldn't the primordial one be the dude who enslaved a whole bunch of these demons? But we'll talk about that later. Like I said, the Scarlet King is probably being used as a frame story for not just like Otto, Colin, but for the primordial one, Phanes, and all of that. These books, these 2 books, The Shepherd and the Magic Bottle and The Lay of Al-Ahmar, sus as fuck. Sus as fuck. Really, really sus. Wait. Okay, let me read. Finally confirmed, Catherine is a robot from Snezhnaya to monitor the Traveler. Yes, that was one of the bigger, or like, not big, but like satisfying reveals. Because I was like, bruh, finally we have confirmation that Catherine's a robot. And not just any robot, but a Snezhnayan robot. Which means all those theories that people were making about Sandrone making Catherine, so much more plausible now. Wait, did I do that one? I can never tell which of these I've done. Do they have like a special little marking to tell you that you've done these? Yep, it will turn into the dendro symbol. Okay, now I understand. Give me a second, y'all. I'm like way behind on comments because I freaking rambled. Did I do the Aranaya quest? Yes, I did, Senpai Lettuce, and it was great. Hi, Harris, how you doing? And the first gold Nara was the sibling of the MC. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Didn't watch from the start, but I like your older videos. And Sumeru Hood, still gotta explore a lot. Have a nice stream. Thank you, yes. I have a lot to explore in Sumeru as well. I mean, I've done quite a bit, but I still have Sealy to get and Dendroculus to get. I'm pretty sure there's probably some quests I haven't done yet. The new Artifacts Expert EM talks about the Scarlet King. Look on it. Yeah, so I read those too. Very sus. Very sus. Also, this is random, but I can't remember which artifact. I think it was the Deepwood Memories artifact set. But one of them I really think is about Dottore. And I really want to do a video now talking about how Dottore definitely is an auto XP. I mean, I talked about it a little bit in the Harbinger video, but he's like, he's definitely. And if you guys have read like the secret messages and people think that Zandik, that dude Zandik is Dottore, that was talked about in a lot of the secret messages around Sumeru. Yeah, it's sounding like he might be an auto XP2 and not just like and how cruel he is and that he's got a whole bunch of clones of himself, basically. But he might have the love aspect as well. Wait, hold on. Again, I am behind. Cecilia's family crest is also the white lily, a flower. Fun fact, the flower from Mondstadt is actually named after her. It's called a Cecilia, but it clearly is a white lily. Okay, so thing about Cecilia, we're gonna talk about her. But I think that Istaroth, the god of time, definitely pulls some inspiration from Cecilia. We'll talk about how later. But it's in more ways than just the flower itself.
There is no escape.
Lucifer means Lightbringer, yes, and so does Phanes, which is why I really think that Phanes was one of the actual travelers. Not like Ether or Lumine, but like one of the other travelers. One of the morning stars. Whoa, I am stuck. Whoa. The fuck?
Brace yourself.
How did you not die? Die.
Illusion shattered. Yahoo!
I really like these new enemy designs, by the way. They're really cool. They're really cool. I like the ones for Sumeru. Again, what? I haven't come across one of those little dudes yet. Uniharu, you haven't? You need to. You need to. The aranara are so adorable. Last time I mentioned that I was excited to either see my name or its origin in Sumeru, it happened. It was the I'm gonna mispronounce this. The Yana energy. I know I mispronounced it. I'm so sorry. That was mentioned during the experiment. Oh, that's cool. I remember the dude mentioning that. Yomi, can I tell you something that I found out while playing Genshin Impact? Apparently every gemstone has its own element. It has a story to tell if I have a connection. Yeah, they all have connections to like the Archons, which is really cool. Yeah, is everybody good with spoilers, by the way? I know I just probably spoiled a whole bunch, but I think the goddess of flowers could be a reference to Teresa's best friend, Cecilia, who died. She used the Abyss flower, which has control over life and death. She mostly used it to create plants. That's very interesting. So the thing about Genshin Impact is that like a whole bunch of characters can have traits of multiple Honkai Impact people. So like there's already like a whole bunch of auto XPs in Genshin. Like Ayato is one of them, kind of. Dottore is one of them. Dainsleif, the Scarlet King. Like it seems like multiple characters can have multiple traits of different Honkai Impact characters. So yeah, you might be onto something there. You might be onto something there. I just have a crack theory that Alhaitham is Dottore's prime form. Oh gosh, that would be interesting. By the way, Alhaitham, while he is very hot, he is very suspicious. Like, very suspicious. I don't trust him. Oh, look, a Seelie. But he's so hot, so I have to listen to everything he says. I want to pull for him. When is he coming out? Actually, don't spoil anything if there are leaks. The artifact sets. Hello. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay, I'm so behind. Might it be that the Sand people will try to revive the Scarlet King inside Scaramouche using the Electro-Gnosis? He is still just a puppet after all. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. And yeah, there is also that theme of resurrecting the Scarlet King, which makes me think even more that he's being used to tell the story of the Primordial One and Phanes. Because Phanes is a dying and rising god, or in other words, he dies and then he comes back to life. Phanes and Dionysus, there's like huge themes of that with the Scarlet King. It said a Seelie passes on only when it falls in love with a human, which is very interesting. We already kind of knew that the Seelie... I just didn't know like all of them were cursed because of love. I just thought it was like the first Seelie and the Traveler from Afar. But then again, what is that book? What is that book called? I can't remember. Whatever book talks about the first Seelie and the Traveler from Afar, from Mondstadt, or it's either Liyue, I can't remember the name. But it did talk about the Seelie and the sisters and everything. Basically being cursed because of their love. So it almost made it sound like... I guess it did make it sound like all of them were cursed because of love. But I don't know what that means. I don't know, like... I don't know, y'all. My brain is all over the place right now, and I'm also distracted, so it's very hard for me to articulate properly. Where... Oh, I do have Dendroculus. There's a lot of things getting hinted at, and I'm gonna die waiting off. Yes, yes. I want everything to be exposed for right now. I want all the stuff with Kusanali and Rukkhadevata to be exposed right now. I'm eager to learn. Where are you, Aranara? Oh wait, I think I saw it. Actually, no, I didn't. I lied. Where are... Oh, there you are. And then where are the nascent zones? Okay, there's the other one. I feel like Kusanali is connected to the Aranara people because Makoto and A are similar to the red and blue Oni since Makoto sacrificed herself. That would be interesting. Also... Oh god, I am so behind that. So you guys would watch the Aranara video. I will put it on the list as like an official thing to make. Do I think it may be a Guoba situation? Yes, there is a high chance of that. And also, one of the things that I said in my Sumeru videos when I was talking about Kusanali and Rukkhadevata, I was like, also pay attention to what she can teach us about Paimon, because they've been telling us slowly what has happened to Paimon without directly telling us. And I think this situation with Kusanali and Rukkhadevata once again might tell us a little bit more about how Paimon came to be. But that's just a suspicion of mine. I really want to hear your thoughts on the second act of the Archon quest. The writing was arguably one of the best in the game so far. The execution of the narrative was phenomenal. Yes, it was really cool. Gosh, what do I want to say about it? Other than it was really cool. So, we've talked about it today. I talk about it in my videos about frame stories and such. I really think... Oh, here's another one! I really think the whole thing with Sumeru City being trapped in a dream was telling us what's going on with the world. I mean, I think Nahida even straight up said, I mean, you don't know, even the world could be in a loop. Which is like low-key hinting, yes, it is in a loop. It is likely in a loop.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
And I've talked about how Tivat is probably one gigantic domain of consciousness. But it might just be a dream.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Which I guess are kind of one and the same. It's a brain domain. And that would also make sense as to why the Traveler's sibling, Lumine, in my case, why she said, we have always had enough time. Because in dreams, time doesn't matter, really. You have plenty of time to do anything.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
But there's also a darker tone to it, because I think, similarly to how Dunyarzad still had a time limit, like her consciousness was fading, I feel like while the Travelers do have time to do whatever it is they're supposed to do here, I think it's still limited. If that makes any sense. Remember, I think we're trying to save people or save someone. But who that is, we don't know. And is time running out for them? Hi, I'm late. What did I miss? Nothing. You just missed me rambling a lot. I think the Scarlet King fell to the Abyss because I feel like he's connected to the Withering, and the Withering has the Abyss Wolves in it. So, speaking of that, have I even done all my freaking... No, I haven't, because I've been fucking talking. But, speaking of the Abyss and the Marana, which is codename for the Withering, if you guys haven't come here yet, there are a whole bunch of Abyss mages in this area, and if you start killing them, you start to hear dialogue from a mysterious Aranara, which I think is Aramakunda, but don't worry about that. So you kill them all, you fight an Abyss person or whatever, but basically, I'm not gonna spoil everything, but basically, it's basically spoiled that the Abyss and the Marana or the Withering have the same source. So, like, it's literally the same thing, which is interesting.
Yahoo!
So I think you're right. I don't know if he fell to the Abyss. I genuinely think the dude is dead.
You can get away?
But the Abyss and the Marana seem to have the same power. Wait, hold on. Why does the Aranara say many moons ago but not long ago, seeing their connection to Seelies and Moon? But the fact that Rukkhadevata was a friend of the Seelie and god of... Yeah, that's an interesting... The Aranara are so weird, by the way, because their concept of time is completely different. Because they, like, lose memories and they're kind of immortal from what it sounds like. Also, I'm dying. My entire team is about to die. Hold on, let me kill these things. But yes, it's very interesting that they know about the Seelie. Speaking of the Aranara, have you guys read the weapon lore? That's pretty interesting. I'm gonna comment on that in a second, but I'm gonna read stuff first. Am I the only one who thinks that the Ruin Guards have the same interface like the view from the brain, that brain connected technology in Sumeru? Wait, what are you talking about? Wait, they have the same interface? Sorry, I'm reading through comments. I'm just gonna skip to where we are. These damn wolves is why I'm very happy to be a Kokomi owner. Yeah, I should probably switch in Bennett or something, or put in Zhongli, because I don't want to die right now. Yan, you had a dream that MiHoYo posted Yao Yao on Twitter last night. Wild stuff. Oh yeah, that did happen, didn't it? Are we finally getting her at some point? Probably for the Lantern Rite? For this upcoming Lantern Rite? Which won't happen for like a few months, right? Not until next year, though. Oh, that's right. Zhongli doesn't even help against the wolves because of the corrosion shit. Never mind. Bennett will help, though. Hello, Valis Dons. How you doing? Sumeru's awesome. Oh, you're saying that about the giant mech we were using in one of the quests. The giant ruin golem thingy? Yao Yao is ephemeral. Wait. What is the answer to this? I was not paying attention. Okay, we're just gonna guess Wall of Samuel. I don't know. Oh. Well, look at God. What is the name of the Darshan with the largest number of researchers? Oh, it's definitely a murder because those are all spelled wrong, right? What is the name of the tree? The divine tree, right? Yes. Well, that was lucky. Wait, you mean the Emerat when he used that knowledge container and went berserk? For me, he acted like a ruin guard. No. Yeah, it was really weird. It's like he glitched out for a moment. In fact, I thought it had something to do with that ruin crab thing initially before Sumeru came out, but those were completely unrelated. but the ruin crab thing, that was so adorable. There's a luxurious chest. Yes, I got all of these the other day, actually. The luxurious chests and all the hidden chests in the city. I looked up a guide because I was like, I ain't got time to go look for that shit myself. Sam, you just won your 50-50 and got Ganyu. Congratulations. Ganyu is broken as hell. She will serve you well. Why would the people of Sumeru use Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's Gnosis as a power source of the academia? I don't know. Hold on. Okay, now we gotta go to where I read that that notice thing. That was kind of like giving an insight on why the academia is doing what it's doing. I think it was somewhere up here. There's like a notice board somewhere on this damn tree. But hold that thought, Yomi, hold that thought. It's also interesting that when you unlock a puzzle domain, the seal on it before it fades away is Cecilia shaped. That is true. It is very strange. It's like it's a nod to Istaroth or something. Is Istaroth the one doing the banner wishes, or is it us? It might be Paimon. I always just assumed it was Paimon. It's still inside Kusanali, but she's in a room where she is the power source, I'm sure. Yeah, she's probably locked somewhere and can't. That's why we only met her as like, basically in the dream. We only met her in the dream, not physically. So I'm pretty sure her physical body is like locked up somewhere. There it is. Okay, I think this is the note board. Let me read it out. Wait. Nope, that's not the note board. That is not the message board. Kusanali said the dreamer's wishes come true in the dream, wondering if that ties to banner wishes. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think Tavad is like one big brain domain. So like dreams and wishes and memories and stuff can come real. Just because I won't say that everything is fake. I'm not gonna say that. But I think people's consciousness and everything are tied to this world. Like very strongly. Those big green circles, when not hit, are the Dendrogani spinning. Because it's good trend. Done ones are not. Oh, okay, thank you. Because, like, I just was not paying attention to them. I was just shooting arrows and stuff at them. I didn't know, like, which is done and which is not. Rebound Meta. Sorry, I read that wrong. I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Do you think they will resurrect Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, and what do you think will happen in the rest of the Archon quest? I think they're gonna try, and they're gonna fail spectacularly. Speaking of Rukkhadevata, I don't know. Okay, well, let me talk about the academia first, because I'm trying to find that message board that, like, gives us a little bit of an insight on what they're trying to do. But I can't remember where I read it. It's so unfortunate. Dreams are a power source, right? It seems like that. Like, dreams and wishes and imagination. Ooh.
Take them. I have no need.
Well, never mind. I didn't find all of them. There's one. But I did get the luxurious chest on the tree that you were talking about. Oh, I can't remember who asked me that. I'm sorry. Okay, so I think the academia are going to try to resurrect Rukkhadevata somehow. I think they're also probably... I think the Akasha system, they might be trying to make their own artificial gnosis. Or at least a system to replace what the Gnosis is supposed to do, which is how... Because the Gnosis is, like, maintaining the Akasha system right now. But I have a feeling they brokered a deal with the Fatui to give over the Gnosis. So I think part of the reason they're doing their experimentation might be because they're trying to find a replacement. But the message board that I read kind of implied that they were trying to bring wisdom to the world or something. I don't know, like, if they're planning something for, like, a global plan, or I'm not quite sure. I really wish I could find that message board. You commented a little earlier about the message boards. Oh, what did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't read it. Sorry, I missed it. Senpai Lettuce, I believe the world is totally real. However, dreams can obtain a physical form. Visions aren't given by Archons, but Celestia, so I believe Celestia is powering this reality, and people who have a strong will get their dream realized into a vision. Huh. Now we are gonna talk about visions and where they come from very, very soon. Very, very soon. But hold on to that idea. Hi, wouldn't that be the reason for taking them then? Yes, dreams seem to be powerful, so I can see why they might want to harvest them. Because dreams, like, the aranara literally made their own world based on a dream, or like their own home. Because they made Dream Vanarana. Speaking of, there are a lot of parallels with stuff that I've talked about Um, in terms of people turning into trees, like that happened a lot during the Aranara quest. Excuse me, not Aranaka. And then there's a book about a certain goddess turning into a tree. Actually, let's look at it now. Oh, there's a chest over here. I'm getting distracted by so many things. I saw a vid theorizing that the goddess of flowers was a Seelie. Any thoughts? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I think it's very possible that she was a Seelie because, number one, I think the goddess of flowers and the Scarlet King are supposed to be... I think they're being used as a frame story for the first Seelie and the Traveler from Afar, but people have been talking about the Scarlet King and the Goddess of Flowers being XPs of Otto and Colin from Honkai Impact. And if that's true, then I would not be surprised. Based on the stuff that I've talked about before in my videos, I would not be surprised if the flower, if the Goddess of Flowers was the Seelie. Oh, also, on the Goddess of Flowers, you know how one of the things that was mentioned was flowers bloomed at her feet whenever she danced, right? This is just a small thing. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the weapons. But this reminded me of something that I read in one of the new weapons, Moon Piercer, that talks about the Moon Sisters. It talks about how Nilotpala lotuses bloomed at the feet of the sisters whenever they roamed the desert. So I don't know. That just reminded me of like the same kind of imagery. The goddess of flower dancing and then flowers blooming. The three moon sisters walking and then flowers also blooming at their feet. Anyway, that's just a small thing. Is that what Dane is commenting on about how much she loved those flowers? I have no idea what flowers he's referring to. It could be those Entivat flowers that grew in Conria. It could be some other flower. It could be Cecilia's. I have no idea what Dainsleif is talking about. But I do think he's talking about the first Seelie. I do still think that. But the first Seelie and Traveler from Afar stuff is going to be, like, we're going to be told about it directly in the main story, like, a long time from now. So when I say, like, these stories that we're learning now are being used to set up for them, I really do believe that. But there's a lot of patience that's going to have to be involved with that, because I don't think we're going to learn too much about them in the main story anytime soon. I'm pretty sure that the Goddess of Flowers was an aranara with lots of memories. I'm not sure, because the thing is, the aranara were created by Queen Aranyani, and oh yeah, I never finished that thought earlier. So Queen Aranyani, a lot of people think is actually Rukkhadevata, mostly because the aranara are termed as the Dendro Archon's familiars, like Rukkhadevata's familiars. And Queen Aranyani was said to have created the aranara. So if it is Rukkhadevata, then she must have created the aranara. But if she created the aranara, then I don't think the Goddess of Flowers could be an aranara. I really think she might be a Seelie. Akamatsu, damn, need a moon sister to farm lotuses for me. Yeah. The Moon Piercer could maybe be a hint at the Goddess of Flowers being a moon sister. I don't think she was. I don't think she was. Because the Moon Sisters, by the time of the Scarlet King and Rukkhadevata and the Goddess of Flowers, the Moon Sisters were like allegedly long dead. Allegedly. I don't think they died. But that's just my opinion. In fact, I think the Moon Piercer weapon basically alludes to the fact that one of the sisters didn't die. You know how I was talking about how strange it is that Two of the moons crumbled away, but one was still in the sky as a corpse. I found that to be weird because if they all died, why did one moon remain in the sky? And the Moon Piercer specifically says the following. Let me go back into the weapons. There it is. Ultimately, two moon wheels shattered into dust and disappeared. The last of the sisters was so overcome with sorrow that she would never leave her palace again. So this pretty much like strongly implies one of them did not die. And I can tell you, and we're going to talk about which one that probably was in part 2. We're also going to talk about this next very suspicious line. After a long time, the moon debris finally fell to the earth. My question for you guys is, what do you think the moon debris was? Senpai Lettuce. Also, I don't remember when, but aren't Gnosis only acquired through sacrifice? I feel like the Goddess of Flowers sacrificed herself to Rukkhadevata and became the Gnosis. Ooh, that would be interesting.
You collect these.
That would be interesting. Like, I'm really interested to know, like, why the Goddess of Flowers allegedly, like, planned her own death. What happened with Rukkhadevata? How did she die? Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Okay, I keep getting distracted. So the Aranyani thing. The Aranyani. Oh, look, another Aranara. Aranyani is actually a Hindu goddess, if I'm not mistaken. You know, goddess of forests, trees, and all of that. But there's an interesting tale about her parents, Shiva and Pavarti. I know I pronounced all those wrongs. I'm so sorry. But there's a story about them sending Aranyani to the World Tree in order for the World Tree to protect her from something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to, what the fuck? Oh, I need this. But there is a tale that seems to parallel really well with what's going on in Genshin. And I'm gonna explain it later. Hopefully I can make the Rukkhadevata Kusanali Goddess of Flowers Scarlet King video like after 3.1 releases. So I can do like a full-on theory on what I think happened between Rukkhadevata, the Goddess of Flowers, etc., etc. But if you're interested, look up Aranyani and look up, I cannot remember the name that the World Tree is called in Hinduism, but there is a World Tree.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Like Ishvata's trees, which were mentioned in the game, that's what the Aranara were turning into. I think that is one of the names for the for a world tree. I mentioned the Bodhi trees. Bodhi trees also have something to do with the world tree in Hinduism, yeah. But if you're interested, just look that up. We'll talk about it later, though. Paimon was your first thought. Oh, Paimon. Keep that thought in mind for later.
Think you can get away? Wouldn't glide.
And I think someone mentioned also, do I think Guoba, like what happened with Guoba, is gonna happen with Kusanali? And I said, yes, there's a high chance of that. But I really think there's more of a chance of that happening with Paimon as well. Mostly because Paimon was also kind of comparing herself to Guoba during that event. Like when they were explaining Guoba lost his memory. And Paimon was like, yeah, I'm kind of the same way. And I'm like, Paimon, are you the same way? And like, not just your memories are lost, but also you having an original divine form, and then you leaking your own power into the earth, and then you turning into a reduced form of yourself? Very sus. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. I know it probably doesn't make any lick of sense right now. There are these Chinese folk myths where the moon is a dragon's pearl and can create stuff. That's so interesting. Okay, because there was also a lot of, they called the moon a pearl a lot during the Aranyaka quest. And it just makes me suspicious about, like, the Genesis pearl from, the Gnostic chorus and shit. And then now that you mention the dragon stuff and how the pearl is protected by, like, a dragon and a lot of different myths, and we've been getting a lot of, like, Seven Sovereign stuff, dragons that eat dreams, if you remember on Fischl's little island thing. Very suspicious. Very, very suspicious.
Wouldn't gliding be fast?
Be still.
Paimon also mentioned an interesting dialogue about memories about labyrinth warriors and how, yes, so she also compared herself to Shiki Taisho. And I want to remind you guys, Shiki Taisho was in charge of his own domain. Like, he controlled his own domain. So I wonder if Paimon was similar to that. If you guys remember from my Chasm's Bed video, which continues to increasingly become more relevant, at the end, I said that I think Istaroth is the one in charge of Tevat's domain. But I also said she may have shared control with the Moon Sisters at some point. So I wonder if her being compared to Shiki Taisho has more to do with than just, like, her losing her memories, but also her possibly being in charge of a certain domain. But I don't know. Hey, Soleil Velasquez. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. How you doing? Yo, I'm Hindu, and the Aranyani story has a lot of parallels with the Sumeru Genshin storylines. Right, yes, yes. Please educate us if you know anything about it, because I am currently trying to learn about Hinduism and Buddhism. I'm trying to learn about Zoroastrianism. Refreshing my brain on stuff from Christianity. I'm also learning about Islam and a whole bunch of other languages and religions and stuff. So if any of you are from any of those cultures and can provide insight, please do. I'm doing well. Talking about the Seelie. Hello, Adrian. Didn't the aranara thing make a joke about Paimon being so slow? While he knew Seelie's being fast as a storm. Yes, she was like, why don't you fly at, like, the speed of a Seelie? Which is really sus. There's just a lot of, like, there was a lot of Paimon is like the moon. Paimon is like a Seelie in the aranara quests. And also in, I'm not gonna spoil it, but in one of the, world quests, someone else compared Paimon to a Seelie. So it just really seems like she's got something to do with the moon and the Seelie. Which people have already suspected, and I've definitely suspected, but it just seems like it's becoming more and more, we're getting close to actually confirming stuff. Or like having more to work with. When Genshin makes you major in religious studies. Yes, oh, hi, Dilwyn. I saw you come in earlier. Hello. But I did not say hi. And I'm sorry if I did not say hi to you. I am, like, really distracted. My brain is all over the place.
I wonder how many bottles this will be worth.
I'm talking about lore. It's all kerfuddled. What do you think of the god Yue Lao? I don't know who that is. Yue Lao. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Who is that? I have no idea who that is. I'm sorry. Please educate me. The message boards have many messages and you get a random one each time you interact with them until you cycle. Oh, maybe that was the message board then. Maybe that was the message board then that I saw it on, if that's the case, if it does cycle. Wait, I don't intentionally mean to kill these kitty cats. I usually leave them alone. I am so sorry. Oh, I should probably spend my resin, by the way. Let's do artifacts, because I'm trying to build ether up. You allow appears at night and unites with a silken cord all predestined couples, after which nothing can prevent their union. Ooh, that sounds very suspicious. He is immortal and is said to live either in the moon or in the obscure regions, the Chinese equivalent of Hades. His legends serve as the basis for the red thread of fate. That is very interesting. I'm gonna look into that more. Because we're going to be talking a lot about Hades and stuff like that in an upcoming video in the Sun part of the series. I know it's still quite a while away, but do you have any, like, premature Fontaine theories? Nothing, like, really solidified. I have to think... I have to, like, look for the crumbs that we've been told about Fontaine, which... isn't too much other than they're like super technological and all about inventions and shit. Because we technically have been getting a lot of Fontaine NPCs, but I have to like gather the lore. What I can recall from like the Oceanid stuff and oh my god, I am dying.
Brace yourself.
Was that the Oceanids do not recognize the Hydro Archon as their Archon. They don't like her, which is really interesting. And I just wonder why that is. Are we gonna encounter like another off her rocker needs to be put down, put in her place, like convinced off the ledge Archon like A was? She sounds very high and mighty since she thinks that her, if you read the little elemental stone of hers, the Hydro one, it says that basically she thinks her ideals have no stains and her people basically are pure in the eyes of the gods. So I think she's gonna be an Archon that probably, I don't know, she might be one that leans towards the heavenly principles a little bit more than the other Archons, because we know Venti don't give a fuck. He does not give a flying fuck about governing his people. Zhongli orchestrated his own death. She was trying to keep her people in stasis so that they didn't catch the ire of the heavenly principles. God damn it. Hi, Shrimp. But she sounds like a very evil lady. From what I am, she's gonna be a problem. Also, there was that Yanfei thing being like, oh, if you ever need a lawyer, make sure you call me. And I feel like we're gonna need Yanfei's help, because we're probably gonna get arrested or something, or put on trial. Since she seems to be more like judgy, like judge related, which will be interesting. So she's like a pick-me Archon, kind of. And then like Dainsleif's words about her, she knows not to piss off the gods, basically. So I feel like, yeah, she's probably gonna be an Archon who adheres more to the heavenly principles. I'm really interested to know her relationship with the previous Archon, because it sounds like there's some shady stuff that may have happened.
Brace yourself.
Not me listening to this instead of my lecture. No! You should listen to your professor. Listen to your professor. Do not listen to me babble about lore horribly. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Oh, God. She sounds more egotistical rather than evil. Yeah, she does, but I feel like because of what Dainsleif says about her, I think she has her in like the people's interests really in her heart. But she might have some things twisted like A did. Like A was just a terrible Archon. But she kind of redeemed herself in the end. You're our professor in Genshin lore. One of them. You have so many people that you guys have resources for. And sorry, I'm gonna put, by the way, I'm gonna make sure to everything we talk about today basically is going to end up in a video, but it's going to be explained a little bit better than it is right now. Oh God, physics? Then yeah, don't listen to that shit. Y'all, during my physics class when I was in college, clear as day, I remember it. I used to skip that shit all the time. Because it was at 7 in the morning, so I never, like, went. But I would go. I mean, I passed the class, but... No, bad habits. Do not listen to me. I will not be a negative influence. Listen to your physics professor. But yeah, I hated physics. Which is funny because I did okay in, like, I did good in calculus. And physics has a lot of calculus in it. So I don't know why I thought physics was like the bane of my existence. But anyway, we were talking about the water lady. Yeah, she sounds no bueno. But yeah, I'm gonna have to like really do some research on what we know about the Hydro Archon. I also kind of want to predict her demon name as well. And then, yeah. But yeah, that's on the list. Like, if you guys read that massive list of videos that I want to put out, I do intend on making a Fontaine prediction video. Probably well before Fontaine comes out. Do some strongbox. Yes, I need to do that. I keep forgetting that exists. And it's really worth it to do it now since so many artifacts are able to be... You're able to get so many artifacts from that now. I wish we knew what visions were. Yes, visions are very suspicious.
Inactivity serves no...
Visions are extremely suspicious. But I do have, like, I have an opinion on what they might be. And definitely who's, like, giving them out. But I'm still not entirely sure about what they are, why they're a thing. Well, this is a fake one. Yeah, I don't know what they are, why they're a thing. But I do think they're just used for control. And also to put a marker on suspicious humans that might have bigger imaginations. Maybe even powerful enough to affect the world around them. I don't know. But we'll talk about that later. Oh my God, the music. The music in Sumeru is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. There's a lot about Sumeru I like. Like, I love the environment. I think it's the prettiest region so far. But maybe I'm just partial to, like, rainforest environments. Also, I haven't really been doing any exploration. I've just been rambling and, like, running in circles. I'm so sorry. I feel like they might be Dragon Eyes since there's something called a Dragon Eyes Amulet. That would be interesting. I know there isn't much info to go There isn't much info at all about it, but how do you think the Natlan Archon quest is going to go? The fact that it's called Ode to Resurrection makes me wonder if we're gonna learn more about, like, the primordial one, and Phanes. However you pronounce it. Also, why am I in the chasm? We need to go the other way. But yeah, it makes me wonder since it's called Ode to Resurrection, which is interesting. Basically, in like every region, we learn a little piece of what's going to happen later in the story. So I do wonder if it will have something to do with the primordial one or something. Also, Natlan is one of the later regions, right? It's the one before Snezhnaya. So we'll be getting to like the end game stuff at that point. Sumeru's soundtrack is 10 out of 10, and the exploration mechanics are really cool. Yes, they're so interesting, and I think they are so much more fun. So much more fun. God, English, Aaron. Oop, I said my real name. Well, now you know my real name. It's Aaron. God, Onion. Wait, what was I even saying? The exploration mechanics, yes. Inazuma's was so boring to me. And like Inazuma's layout was kind of boring to me as well. But Sumeru's just like a breath of fresh air. Maybe it's because we were stuck in Inazuma for too long. But Sumeru is just like a breath of fresh air. It's so pretty. The mechanics are nice. I like finding Aranara. Why am I here? I'm here to turn in my shit. God.
Ad Astra.
Onion lore. Yes, new onion lore. Wait, so I'm not an onion. Actually, I am, and I'm also in the game. Valise. I'm sorry if I pronounced that right, but I don't even know if they're here. They basically said that I'm in the game, and I agree. I am the Tree of Dreams in Vanarana. That is me. Think of me every time you see it. It is a glorified onion turnip thing. Remember the strongbox. Thank you. Because I was definitely gonna forget that. Where's the little alchemy table? It's over here. Oh my god, you are here. Wait, somebody said it on Twitter. I don't know if that was you on Twitter. You are here, but was that you on Twitter? You have a different picture on Twitter if that was you. Sorry, I was distracted. I asked if you saw the lore interaction between Viridescent and the Bloodstained Knight and the Hunter's Path description. Yes, I did. And I was like, whoa, that's very interesting. I want to learn more about Viridescent and the Forest King and everything that was going on in that story. Very suspicious. I just want to learn more about the Cataclysm because the Cataclysm is just really interesting and how it affected all the nations. My name is like Alice, but with a V. Valis. Okay, I'm so sorry. And yes, that was you. Okay, Valis. That was you. I want Natlan Archon Quest to be a huge anime tournament where the Pyro Archon will only concede us an audience if we win the tournament and defeat her at the end. That would be cool. Yeah, she's gonna be like, cause she's like a god of war, isn't she? Basically. And she's based off of Himeko from Honkai Impact. So she's like the flame lady. Well, actually, we don't know that yet, but people are thinking. And it's probably a good, she probably is based off of Himeko. Strongbox, oh my god, thank you. You see how distracted I get? I was literally right over it and I just walked away. Where is it? Oh my god. You forgot the strongbox. I know, I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. It's called a Vedic epic. So basically, the goddess Pavarti was at a sacred garden and saw a divine tree called, yes, that's the divine tree. I cannot pronounce it, but I'm gonna try right now. Kalpavriksha. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have even said that. I'm sorry. And wished for a beautiful daughter who later became the goddess of forests. That is so suspicious. Y'all know what I think the big Irminsul tree is right now. You know I think the Moon Sisters are the tree itself. Specifically Istaroth. I really do think she is, and we're getting even more of that. We're getting more imagery of that because... No, not materials, books. No, not travelogue, books. I'm never gonna do the strong box. I ran past it, oh god. We're gonna do it in a second, I'm sorry. But the folio of foliage, look. So I'm gonna read this out. I don't dare presume to mention her true name, let alone overstep my bounds as an earthly being to judge her divinity. I, Sunitha Kazamvi, I know I pronounced that incorrectly. I'm so sorry. A servant of shallow intellect, have merely recorded the stories heard from the sages who followed her in the past and nowhere else. These words are as true and evident as my own existence. So this whole thing is about a goddess, I mentioned it earlier, turning into a tree in order to heal the world, basically. Many people had never before heard her voice, or if they had, they did not know it was her. Those who disseminate well, because they hear words from far and wide, are as rare as those who teach well because they understand the truth. Her will is all-pervading and as indestructible as intellect itself. None can destroy the indestructible, for there has never been an absence of existence in this world, nor the existence of absence. Okay, so first of all, sus thing. The fact that this person would not mention the name of this goddess is very suspicious because guess what? What is the only goddess in this game whose name was intentionally written backwards and was intentionally not mentioned, or the person writing about that goddess was very, what's the word, apprehensive about even writing the goddess's name? The answer is Istaroth, and that was in Before Sun and Moon. So I find it interesting that we have yet another person who's not mentioning the name of whatever divinity they're talking about. Also, this divinity is described as all-pervading, having an all-pervading will, indestructible as intellect itself. None can destroy the will of her, or whatever, sorry. And, first of all, I'm gonna say I think this might be about Rukkhadevata, but I also think it will parallel well with Istaroth, which makes me think that Rukkhadevata might, in some part, be based on whoever Istaroth's XPs are supposed to be in Honkai Impact. So one of the XPs I am like 100% sure Istaroth's based on is Aponia, if you guys have played Honkai Impact. Like, straight up, Aponia is probably Istaroth's Honkai Impact counterpart. But we've also talked about Cecilia, right? We talked about how, I think we were talking about it earlier because someone mentioned Cecilia possibly being the goddess of flowers or something like that. I can't remember what that person said. I'm so sorry. But Cecilia has the name of the flower in Genshin that's supposedly related to time. If you guys remember when the Traveler and Paimon were going to go rescue A, you could see all these images of Cecilia's, like in the little time tunnel, which was very suspicious. And the Cecilia's related a lot to Venti, who we know was somehow related to Istaroth, one of the thread of 1,000 winds or whatever. But I think Rukkhadevata... Ooh, what is this? What are these things, by the way? I find them, but I don't know what they are, and I've never bothered to read them. Because I'm lazy. You do. No, you don't have to remind me. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. I'm going back. Okay. What do I want though? I kind of need stuff for Child, but I also need stuff for Hazo. So we're gonna do Viridescent Venerer. But what was I talking about? Yeah, I think Istaroth is gonna be. I think Rukkhadevata is gonna be like an Istaroth. I think she's gonna parallel well with Istaroth. She might parallel well with people like maybe Aponia, maybe Cecilia. Who knows? But I only believe that because I just believe that Istaroth became the big Irminsul tree of the world at some point. The Moon Sisters were all involved in that. And I think Rukkhadevata followed suit because the Aranara said maybe she became a tree and bore fruit to heal the world. That is something they said about Queen Arinyani. And I really believe Queen Arinyani is Rukkhadevata, but I don't think that's been confirmed yet. But I think it is supposed to be her. I know, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. I know, my thoughts are going all over everywhere. Senpai, it's Sumeru's soundtrack for your teapot. Oh, they are songs for, they give music. Okay. It's also suspicious about the flowers because Cecilia means blind. Ha. I'm so glad you mentioned blind. So I don't know if you remember the really cryptic part of my video part 1.5, Phanes and Istaroth, when I was talking about my two suspects for the lover of the first Seelie. I had like two silhouettes popped up, and it was Dainsleif and Venti. And I said one of them played a role that wasn't in the parable, but was still important enough, a shining role. The name of that role that I have come up with is the Blind Man. And we will talk about that later, because being blind is important, and they've started like mentioning blind stuff a lot more, because I'm pretty sure in like a couple of the lores or whatever, they talk about being blind and having like your identity stolen from you, being blind, shit like that.
Why isn't it working?
Hermes. Also, the aranara turn into a tree if they become too powerful. Makes sense. They expect their god to do the same, like poetry, it rhymes. Right, so there's, like, again, there's a lot of, like, symbolism of people turning into trees. And also, if you remember the dude in Vanarana with the funny, oh my god, onion. Fucking do the artifact. Stop clicking out. I am so scatterbrained. But if you remember the dude with the funny mustache, the aranara with the cute little mustache, I know there's probably a couple of them, but like the main one that was like in the tree and was helping us. He's the one who created the dream Vanarana, and he sustains it. He says that he cannot leave the dream itself because he is the tree of dreams, which also parallels well with I think it's going to parallel well with Istaroth and her role that she's playing right now, which is why we haven't really seen her in the game so far, because I think she can't leave wherever she is. But we're going to talk about that more later. But there's a lot of, like, there was a lot of people turning into trees, because the Arnar are basically like seed people, tree people. And to hear their god being able to turn into a tree too, possibly, is interesting. But I think it gives some more, a little bit like, not necessarily concrete proof, but, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I reached the maximum. Let's see if I get crap. Yes, Araja, that guy, Araja. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Yes, but him, the dude with the mustache. I think it gives a little bit more, I guess, context to my idea about the Moon Sisters and Istaroth being the Irminsul tree itself. Because now we might have a god who turned into a tree or went back into the world tree itself. What if the three Moon Sisters are the Fates from Greek mythology? Oh yeah, I think they're definitely supposed to be the Fates of Genshin Impact. Arius, Sonnet, and Canon. But what's interesting, if the Moon Sisters really are the goddesses of fate for Genshin Impact, then it would make sense that they're the ones, or were the ones, who were determining constellations and such for humans. Possibly. But the thing is, if they're dead, or if they're not fit to do their job right now, who's doing it for them? Who's like maintaining the cycle? And we're gonna talk about that. Who's maintaining like the ley line cycle? Who's making sure everything goes the way it's supposed to go? This is actually a good hat. Oh, this is a really, oh my god, that's a really good hat, y'all. Look at that. That's perfect. Crit damage, crit rate, attack. That's beautiful. Thank you, anime, for like not letting me forget to do this after like 20 or 30 minutes of not doing it and being right in front of it. Always lock the good piece. Yeah, that's probably something I should do, right? I'm so bad at this game, y'all. Like, it's not even funny. I am so bad at Genshin. I don't do any of the things you're supposed to do. Yeah, that's not a good piece. I'm gonna throw it away. I'll keep that one. Oh, thank you, Valis, for the donation. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. Part 2, who later became the goddess of forest, Aranyani, and then one of the Lord Brahma's son fell in love with Aranyani, and that's all I can remember from the. So, thank you for mentioning that, because if you research a lot of these mythologies and stuff, and a lot of the characters that they introduce in Genshin, a lot of the gods and goddesses that they pull references from, there's like a lot of moon and sun and gods of the moon and sun falling in love with each other, which is why I really strongly believe the first Seelie and the Traveler from Afar, their story is like the most important one in Genshin. Everything will return to them at some point. And I also think the Traveler from Afar is Phanes. Like straight up, I genuinely believe that the Traveler from Afar is Phanes. But I've already kind of talked about that. Well, I'll explain more and like solidify the theories a little bit more in future videos. Because I imagine 1.5 was probably confusing for certain people. Because I just like went on a ramble towards the end. There was a lot of brain rot in that video. David, you want this game so bad? You could download it. It's free. Just download it. Okay, don't get rid of that, because that might turn into something worthwhile. Don't get rid of these. Don't get rid of that. Don't get rid of that. The Rika, maybe when all three sisters were alive, people's fates weren't cyclical as it is now. It's like everyone now is living a past life of one's old fates. Yes. The cycle is so interesting, and constellations are so interesting. Because it's like, are the evil big bads of Celestia like doing this? Was this only a thing? Like, constellations determining people's fates. Was that only a thing because of Celestia? Or whoever took over Celestia? Because let's be real. Like, who does it? The Golden Traveler Sun and the Little Silver Moon. Yes. Yes, Lucas. Akamatsu, oh, you know, it's interesting that the aranara call us the sun and Paimon the moon too. Yes. Yes. By the way, I know in like part 1.5, I said that the Moon Sisters might have been the shades of the primordial one, but more and more I'm thinking it's actually the second option, which is like the sisters weren't the Shining Shades, and the Shining Shades were the first heir, the second heir, which I think is Phanes, and then Ether and Lumine. Those were the 4 Shining Shades. That's my other thought right now about the Shining Shades, and that they were just children of the primordial one. Though actually, there's something that made me think that the second heir actually wasn't a child of the primordial one at all. I will explain later, but that would require me to go into the lore books. What am I doing at this point? I'm just clicking shit at this point. I'm not even paying attention. Okay, get rid of all these. These are shit. Actually, that one's okay. Are there any characters that actually use HP percentage like this? Or can I just throw these out? Or should I just keep them just in case I get a character that's like that? This one might turn into something okay. I think the Traveler is more close to Lucifer, the Lightbringer, than Phanes. But the thing is, Phanes means Lightbringer, just like Lucifer. Just like Lucifer. Which is very interesting. And he's also associated with light, with life. Lucifer was called the Herald of the Dawn, the Morning Star. Isn't Phanes the primordial one? So, I actually don't think he was. And that's mostly based on the fact that Before Sun and Moon said that the primordial one's name may have been Phanes, which implies that his name may not have been Phanes, that the person who wrote Before Sun and Moon was actually unsure about it. I think that Phanes wasn't actually the primordial one. He might have been one of the shades. Which is funny because if Al... Okay. No, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck. I didn't mean to do that. But anyway, since we clicked out of that, I think it's in here. One of the books, which is interesting because Al Amar, I think is supposed to be, I think he is going to be like, we're working with another frame story here. I think Al Amar, because I was talking about how earlier Al Amar was very much like King Solomon, and I think the primordial one is going to be based a lot on King Solomon, but I'll talk about that later. Al Amar is going to be used as a frame story for the primordial one. If that is the case, they actually mention in here that Al Amar wasn't actually the dude's name or wasn't even a title for him. There's like one of the books that has this weird, like, oh, it's kind of, I think it's in here actually. It's like, no, it is in here, I think. Yes. Farah Miraz, I'm so sorry, an academic, has pointed out that Al Amar was not the name that the monarch used during his lifetime. I think that parallels really well with what was said in Before Sun and Moon about Phanes. That name may have been the name of the primordial one, which inspires doubt. Not inspires doubt, which suggests there might have been doubt about his actual name. And I think this is interesting that Al Amar also kind of has that. And that they make a point to mention it here. You think the primordial one is going to be Paimon? That's interesting. Maybe. Maybe. We'll have to see. What if Rukkhadevata became the Marana and that is infecting the Irminsul tree because her consciousness was connected to it through the Akasha terminal? Thus, she really became part of the big tree. That's interesting. I thought Al Amar was the Scarlet King. Yes, he is, but what I'm saying is that he's going to parallel a lot with the primordial one. Based on stuff that I talked about earlier. I think he's going to parallel a lot with the primordial one. Not that he is the primordial one, but that his story is going to be used as a frame story to tell us more about the primordial one. Like this whole thing, let me give you an example. The Lay of Al Amar. So let's go to his fate. Let's see what happened to him. They say Al Amar separated his mind from his flesh and bone, placing it within the corridors, stairways, doorways, and beams that crawled eternally into the depths. It is said that Al Amar's body gradually blah blah blah, and that his soul merged into one with the wailing souls of the millions in his kingdom, doomed to wander, lost amidst the howling end, traveling along the dark and winding corridors, growing ever closer to the bottomless abyss. What does this remind you of, if anything? Can you think of anything this might remind you of in the game? Thus did the minds of millions merge into one, a lone soul that would eventually succumb to madness, and so Al Amar's kingdom was built and destroyed by his own hand. Also, I'm trying to find it, but they describe this little corridor thing as a maze. Okay. Here we go. Thus did Al Amar use 100 years and 100 years further to build a huge maze for his kingdom before trapping himself deep within it, in search of forbidden knowledge and an elixir which he might abandon his mortal form. Yes, the Spiral Abyss. This sounds a lot like the Spiral Abyss. But I can guarantee you it's not the Spiral Abyss. Again, we're talking about Al Amar is the Scarlet King. And I'm sure we're going to see whatever this is actually talking about in the desert. But I also think this is telling us something else. Because this sounds so similar to the Spiral Abyss, and it also sounds like Al Amar became like a will, for example, we know that there is a will of the Abyss. We know that. There are notifications about it in the Spiral Abyss. And then the little, what is it? The little ascension material thing that we got in the chasm that looks like Odin talks about like this will of the abyss. We know that because there is a spiral, I can't remember. I wish I could pull it up on here, but you guys can look it up. There is one message in the Spiral Abyss that talks about the will of the abyss and that there is a will within the abyss. And then there's also the little dark statuettes, yes. Actually, where do I go for that? Do we go in here? Because it's like for weapons, isn't it? Or is it for something else? The one-eyed material, they are under character materials. Okay, wait, let me just look in here then. Nope, these are weapons. Here we go. Do I even have any? Oh, I might not even have any. Oh, I don't even have... Oh, yes, I do. Here we go. So, the statuette talks about this whisper of some ominous thing, talking about, see, my child, all that lies under the throne of heaven shall be destroyed by upheaval. These items drop from abyss people, right? The little night things. And again, we also know there is likely a will within the abyss, and that's based on the message that you can see in the Spiral Abyss that talks about the different blessings for the abyss, like the blessing of the abyssal moon and then the second one. And it talks about that blessing being from the will that exists within the Spiral Abyss, whatever the fuck that is. So I find it interesting that this book that talks about a dude who might actually be someone who is being used to tell us more about the primordial one for several reasons. Again, I'm going to put this in a video. It'll be laid out a lot more coherently. But I think it's interesting that Olimar might parallel well with the primordial one, and that this Olimar person built this maze thing that sounds a lot like the Spiral Abyss and also seems to have merged his mind with it. So I wonder if the primordial one, and I wonder if this might be suggesting the primordial one is the will of the abyss. Which would make sense for a couple of things. Because one, what happens when gods die in this game? And they have like a whole bunch of resentment. What happens? Welcome back, Sun and Moon Part 2.1. Ah, yes, this... I was going to talk about the primordial one in like part 5 or 6. God, it's a long way away. This, what I'm talking about now is stuff we were going to talk about later. But that was just my thought. And that's, of course, all predicated on if it's true that Olimar might be being used to tell the story of the primordial one, because there's just weird overlap. But who knows? Corruption, right. Yes, they produce Archon residue, which I hope they mention the name of Archon residue soon. Who knows? What is it called in the game right now? Basically, Tatarigami, the resentment of gods, miasma, they leave miasma and such. So what do you think would happen if the primordial one, like a god as powerful as the primordial one, died? Would it create like this massive, like what would happen to him? Did he create his own, did he produce his own miasma when he died? His own Archon residue? And if he did, where would it be? But that's just all I was thinking about when I read The Lay of Olimar. The Gilded Dreams artifact description has some interesting info. Yeah, I was reading that earlier, and I think... the Scarlet King is such an interesting character. Again, we're going to talk about him later. Will GI ever go deep down with the lore of Primordial One as ever? It's probably gonna be a long time before they directly tell us anything about like the Primordial One, the Moon Sisters, and that's what's so, I guess, hard about making videos about that stuff now, because I really think they're not gonna talk about it or address it directly in the main story for a long time. But we'll see. They've been ramping up, like, dropping lore bombs. Ever since Enkanomiya came out, it's like the writing has just changed in like main stories. Well, really since A's second story quest, because that was really in my opinion, that's where it was really a change in terms of like finally hearing about stories that we care about. You're gonna go bye. All right, thanks for joining. Bye-bye. Yeah, their lore droppings is so weird to me. Like, yeah. If the Primordial One died, then all of the Abyss might be his remaining miasma. Yeah. I'm starting to think that. But again, I don't know. I'm starting to think that he might be the will of the Abyss, or at least part of it. Who knows? Anyway, back to this. What the fuck? I'm gonna do Heart of Depth now, because I do need child pieces. I think an interaction between Kale and Zhao would be cool. That would be cool. I'm kind of thinking, how would they meet, though? Well, there's always a way. There's always a way. I really want Zhao and Kazuha to meet. I don't know, because I like Kazuha a lot. Oh, that rambling of incoherent theorizing has hurt my brain. The maze thing might be related with the desert ruins we will see. Oh yeah, definitely. What I'm saying is, I think the stories are telling us more about what's coming in the future and about future characters that we will see. So for example, like Enkanomiya was one gigantic frame story about people who were attacked by dragons, had to create their own sun. Like it really mirrored the origin stories of Teyvat like really well. Also, if you guys remember Abrax, I can't pronounce his name right. The dude who created the Dainichi Mikoshi, I'm pretty sure he's like a stand-in for the Primordial One in that story. And Phanes. Because if you realize, he lost his body, like his body parts were split and scattered across Enkanomiya. We had to put him back together, and then we had to meet him at the top of the Dainichi Mikoshi. Which, by the way, the Dainichi Mikoshi is kind of like... Well, number one, it's kind of like an Irminsul tree, but we're not gonna get into that part, but... The top of the Dainichi Mikoshi, I really believe is supposed to be like Celestia. Like, as far as like the frame story is concerned. Because if you remember, the Sun Children were incinerated at the top of the Dainichi Mikoshi. The Sun Children paralleled well with the Archons. And not just the Archons, but also Vision Wielders. Because the Sun Children were given the reins of the sun. Kind of similar to how certain people are given visions. And then they had to go through the rite of ascension. Kind of like how Vision Wielders can ascend to Celestia. And then at the top, they were incinerated. Kind of like how Vision Wielders, we have no idea what happens to them, but from what people theorize, they think Celestia is like a prison. I'm kind of thinking now it's like a prison for humans who have... Well, I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say yet. I'm not going to say yet. Please, Vanessa. You know, I just realized, since the Enkanomians have Greek names and stuff, maybe the Ajax child is named after was actually an Enkanomian legend. Oh, I have no idea. Then Abraxas is the constructor of Celestia. Not like... Right, he's supposed to parallel, I believe, with the Primordial One. because the primordial one is the one who facilitated the construction of Teyvat. And Abrax had a lot to do with Enkanomiya's survival. He created the Dainichi Mikoshi, which brought light to his people. Not to mention that Abrax is the name of, what is it called? The Great Archon in Gnosticism. He's like a god of light. Or an Archon of, not an Archon. What is he called? But he's basically he's very similar to the descriptions of the primordial one, which is why which I believe even more, oh God, I cannot speak. Which is why I believe even more that Abrax is supposed to be the primordial one. Think of like Enkanomiya as a big play, and all of the characters in it are actually supposed to represent other people within the story of Genshin Impact. Again, Enkanomiya is not Teyvat itself. Enkanomiya is not, like, Abrax is not the primordial one himself, but he represents him. So that's what I mean by frame stories. Stories telling other stories. I know it's confusing, and I know I'm not explaining it very well, but basically symbolism, etc., etc. Will we meet Alice in Fontaine? I hope we meet her beforehand. Didn't she just do the collected miscellany for Dori, which was really weird? It was really interesting. I thought she was only going to do it for, like, characters that weren't from Teyvat. Have I beat the game? No, no one has beat the game. This game has no end yet. Who is this? Who are you? Oh, Soleil. Yeah, come in. You might as well. You might as well join while I run around. I've heard that Alice may be the Tsaritsa. I don't believe it. Oh, I don't believe that either. I think the Tsaritsa... I have no idea who the Tsaritsa's gonna be. I guess because she has a connection to Dori. Yeah, but that was... Yeah, that's why. And that makes sense. But it was very interesting to hear what she had to say about Dori. How far am I in the game? I've done most of everything, I think. I'm pretty much caught up in the main storyline and everything. Oh, where do I want to explore? Let's explore over here. If I get the game, can I join sometime? Yeah, if I'm like streaming and there's like a co-op event or something, yeah, maybe we can all play together. Also, I can't believe Dori owns Palace. Does she? I haven't really like looked into it. I'm like the Palace of Alcazar Zaray, the palace place. I just know it was owned by a merchant. I didn't know it was her. Do you think we will finally meet Alice in the next Albedo Dragonspine event? God, I hope so. I have no idea when we're gonna meet Alice. But I hope it is soon, because she's such an interesting character. I also want to meet her other Hexenzirkel, excuse me. The other members of the Hexenzirkel, like, what is it called? Mona's master. And I'm pretty sure Ryan Daughter's gonna pop up for that too. Oh, hello, Soleil. Help me kill this thing. I really hate these things. These things fly around too much. I feel like it's more than coincidence we always just miss her. Yeah, she's like always around, but we can never see her. We just miss her. Always by like a sliver of a chance or whatever, just like with the GAA event. Oh my god, I just realized that you have Kaviz fan art design. Do I? Huh? Aru? Oh, what now? What is he even supposed to look like? Oh wait, we're not supposed to be talking about that. Do we even? Oh wait, no, we can, because he was mentioned in the game.
That's close enough. Time to go to work. You are not welcome.
I'm excited for him, by the way. I have no idea Oh, fuck.
I was watertight.
Oh, God. I have no idea what he's gonna look like, but he sounds like an interesting person based on the message boards that are around.
Time to go.
The drama going on over the design. Okay, nope, nope, don't want to know. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. I don't want to know. Yeah, All Hatham's roommate. Don't want to know. But if I did know anything about him, I would know that he sounds interesting and I would want to pull for him whenever, if he ever comes out. Is Istaroth even one of the Primordial One's shades? I question that every day. Yeah, I know that Before Sun and Moon kind of heavily implied that she was.
Time to go.
But I question that every day. I don't know. It's because also, like, for example, Phanes, right? In Orphism, oh god, you died, Soleil, come back. I need you. In the Orphic cosmogony, time always preceded Phanes. Time and fate always preceded Phanes, like even before he was born. So like I don't know. And while like Genshin doesn't make everything a one-to-one, like a one-to-one take on like the mythologies it takes inspiration from, I do think that that's suspicious. I don't even know if she is. Alice and Varka lore win. Kawaii Beans, I have no idea. I want more Varka lore. Thank you, Soleil, also. I would have died if not for you. I have no idea when we're gonna learn Varka lore. Can Kaveh be Kevin's counterpart of Honkai? I have no idea. The Tsaritsa seems more like a male parallel of Kevin. Chow, I don't know. A lot of people are thinking, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but I've seen people say they think that Tsaritsa is gonna be based on Bronya. Who is, I don't know if you guys know Honkai Impact, but she's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm thirsty for Tsaritsa lore, but I also know we're not gonna get it anytime soon. Except for like vague references. She was named Bronya in the early Genshin files. Oh, was she? Oh, I'm dead. Wait, where the fuck did this thing come from? Ah!
Wouldn't gliding be fast?
But that's interesting that she was named Bronya in the early Genshin files. I mean, they could always change it too, but yeah, I think it's a good chance that she is Bronya. Only because of Bronya has like IC connections and shit like that. And like connections to Russia and stuff like that. And what was her name? Cocolia? Was like the lady who used to take care of orphans or whatever. She could also be the Tsaritsa, right? Or was La Senora like an XP of her? I don't know. But then again, there could be multiple XPs in Genshin of the same Honkai character. So, yes, Cocolia. She might look like she might be the Tsaritsa, who knows? The Tsaritsa is definitely going to be very interesting, especially with the major crimes against humanity the Fatui commit. Yeah. I'm kind of like, I'm just wondering why she's doing the whole save the world thing the way that she's doing it. Oh, no. We need an electro person. I'm not climbing this. Ah, fine. Let's climb it. But yeah, I don't know what she's going to be or why she's doing the things that she's doing. I just want to learn more about the Cataclysm, guys. That's what I'm really interested in. Oh, you're fighting. Do you need help? I'm gonna help. Oh, yeah, you probably need some help.
Be still.
The truth is so terrible, then the crimes against humanity are worth it for. I guess, yeah, whatever she's doing is... And I kind of feel like... And I don't know if this is gonna be perceived as kind of a cop-out or whatever, but... you know that one artifact, not artifact, but boss drop? I think it's the meaning of eons, that says one thought can end all calamity. And you know how there was like heavy symbolism in Sumeru, kind of implying that the world itself is caught in a dream? Is it gonna be like one of those situations where everything is just gonna be like overwritten? And if so, how do you guys feel about that? Do you think it's a cop-out to just have everything like reverse? Or like all the bad things never happen and characters all have their happy ending? God, I hope not. That is awful. I'm mixed on it. I don't know. It depends on how they do it. And again, that's assuming that might be what they're going for, which honestly, that might not be what they're going for. They have given us a lot of twists. Oh, look at that. I don't think I've gotten that little shrine. Let's go over there. It might be okay. Yeah, I saw a theory that we're already in an alternate timeline, so that was wild. Yeah. I don't know. Everything runs in a loop. Oh, okay. Okay, bye. Thanks for joining. I would not like that personally. I would imagine Genshin's writers are better than that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I would feel about that. If it's like, oh, everything just gets erased at the end. As if it never happened. Whoa, who are you, lady? It'd kind of suck if everything we've been through was for nothing in the end. Well, not necessarily nothing. Okay, well, let me rephrase it. What if the whole point of the journey is to prevent something bad from ultimately happening? Well, now that's kind of the same question, because I was about to say, and then it'll erase everything bad that happened, and certain things wouldn't happen. You wouldn't like that at all. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Alternate timelines. I've heard of that. Like twins. Like the twin traveled the world once in like the same kind of way. And it's just like a repeating cycle. I've heard theories about that. I just don't know how I feel about any of that. And I don't know how I feel about everything getting erased. Did I do this one? No, I didn't. Let's raid some bandits after I revive Ayato and heal them. I honestly wouldn't mind because it still happened. Actually, it might even be more sad. Yeah, do you guys prefer sad endings or happy endings? Because I'm like one of those people that's like, I want everybody to be happy, but also I want them to suffer first. Unimaginably suffer before the happy ending. Because what's a good story without drama? If it's done well, it can be good, but it's rare, honestly. Yeah, if it's done well, and again, it may not happen. I think there's gonna be a twist. But yeah, I don't know. That's just one scenario I've been thinking about, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that if that's what they're going for.
Happy to oblige.
But like y'all mentioned, I don't think the writers would go that route. Or if they do, they'll make it worthwhile. Eventual happy ending all the way, please. I am baby. Me too. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? Oh, whatever. I'm supposed to activate that thing first, right? Yeah, I think I am. Before I can get the little thingies. Usually I think bittersweet endings are the best. Because it's like a middle ground between the two. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. But admittedly, I'm like a Kingdom Hearts soy boy. I love cheesy, happy ending bullshit type stuff. Where everyone can be happy after the suffering. Okay, where the frick is the first one? It's in there. Why do we have to face Dainsleif at the end, and why is he protecting the Traveler twin? Dainsleif. He's like...
Let's play.
Well, basically, he already gave us an ultimatum, right? He basically said the next time we see him, we need to have our minds made up about where we lie in terms of, like, the Abyss and what they're doing.
Time for takeoff.
I think he's going to be an obstacle because we're just not going to agree with his methods at some point. I think we're really going to see what he's actually doing at some point, and the methods that he may be using to accomplish his goal, which, by the way, we still have no idea what the fuck he's doing. All we know is that there's someone he potentially wants to rescue, and that's based on the Travail trailer. And we also know he doesn't like the Abyss Order. We also know he doesn't have some of his memories, even though that hasn't been made abundantly clear in the story. I don't know, he's an enigma right now. I could say more, but all of it is very, like, speculative and stuff I want to talk about in his video. Yeah, the Traveler is a lot more like a neutral character. Yeah, he is. The Traveler, because he didn't, like, the Traveler did not disagree with their siblings' methods, right? And what I mean by that is, they were basically like, if I had a chance to, like, save people, even if there was like a 1% chance he would still do it, or they would still do it. That was at least one of the options. And Dainsleif was like, there's no point in doing this. There's no saving them. It's useless. And I think that's where the discourse is gonna come between the Traveler and Dainsleif. Because we still kind of don't know what the heck is going on in terms of, like, how corruption works, because Dainsleif was like, there's no cure for the curse of a god, and I kind of question that. But I think the cure is gonna be reweaving fate, or whatever the frick he was talking about in the Travail trailer. But and why didn't he want to enter Mondstadt Cathedral? I find it interesting. By the way, I find it interesting that even in Dainsleif's collected miscellany, he had nothing negative to say about Venti. Like, nothing. Even though Venti is a god, he had nothing negative to say. And I find that suspicious. Why Venti? Is it because he doesn't really, you know, monitor his people? But I think the excuse he gave is he just doesn't like the gods. That's why he didn't want to go in there. But something tells me there might be another freaking reason. Who knows? How much do you think it would add to your enjoyment if Traveler was actually VA more? Okay. So this is like one of the things that I really want, because I think the voice actors for Aether and Lumine in a lot of the languages are super talented, and they deserve more screen time.
Brace yourself.
Not screen time, but like, they deserve to be heard more. And I wish we heard them more. And I think the devs are getting that because we heard them a lot more during this
You are not welcome here.
during the Sumeru Archon quest. So I do think it will improve. I do think we will get to hear them more. Well, the cure would have to be on the level that it was applied to work. That's the impression that I got. Right. And it seems like it's also... The way the curse works is like an affliction of the mind. Like a deep affliction that affects your entire being. I even had a crack theory that I was like, wait, so like what if everybody has like their own little domains of consciousness? And like that's really what the curse starts affecting, and it's like a disease. Kind of like the abyss corruption that the world is infected with. It just kind of like seeps into everything and corrodes things over time. Makes people go mad and insane. Yeah, it's like a super corrosion. Certain theories say they don't talk because they're in a dream. Oh, that's interesting. But I want my travelers to talk more. I find the non-VA of the traveler stupid as the dialogue options are 99% of the time completely pointless. Yeah, because it doesn't affect anything. That's true.
Happy to oblige.
Yahoo!
I do wish they talked more. And I guess like the reason they don't, or at least part of it, is for immersion's sake. Like people who have their own travelers, so people can like have their own canon voices. I don't fucking know actually, you know. I'm not even gonna make an excuse for it. Like, you know how they let you name your own traveler? It's more so for that purpose. But I don't know. Silent protagonists are not my favorite. I like hearing them talk. Though I guess Persona 5 is an exception. I didn't mind him not talking. I wanted to hear his voice, but I also didn't mind it. Maybe it's because the game was really fun. And how the Marana affected the trees. Yeah, so like that's what my impression of the curse is. Yeah, Joker was super cool. I remember doing the We Will Be Reunited quest recently, and the emotional impact of the scene was killed because our side of the conversation was really silent. So yeah, that was like the one scene in the game that I really wish they had the Traveler voice. Anytime the sibling has an interaction with whatever sibling you have chosen to play, I think they should definitely have voice acting for both of them. But that's just my opinion, because they're all like, it's supposed to be emotional, it's supposed to be moving. And if one of them is super silent and Paimon is talking for us, or other characters on screen are talking for us, it just doesn't really feel like we're interacting with the sibling. I know like the options tell us, yeah, you're technically interacting, but it would be so much more immersive if they talked during those scenes. I think they started as a silent protagonist, but they changed their mind, gave them personality, then never worked on their voice lines. Yeah. Especially since the Traveler is more their own character than an insert, give Zack and Sarah more time. Yes, please. And not just Zack and Sarah, any of the voice actors for any of the languages, please give them the chance to talk more. Also, sometimes the stuff Paimon shouts is just dumb as fuck, and yeah. Sometimes it's just like, girl, please be quiet. Like, I love Paimon. I love me some Paimon, right? But sometimes, girl, shut up. Let the Traveler speak sometimes. Rest that voice for a little while. Just be the cute, adorable floating companion for a minute. Exactly, girl, the adults are talking. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. But yeah, hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. I feel like I missed a lot of comments, and I apologize for that if I did. I really do. I did not mean to ignore you if I missed your comment or did not see it. How long have we been streaming, y'all? Oh, it's already 7 o'clock. I already went over. And I was rambling, mostly about shit. And I rambled about shit that probably didn't make any sense to y'all. And didn't explain things well, per usual. But, again, everything I just discussed today will be put in videos of the future. 2 hours, good lord. It didn't even feel like 2 hours. There is a theory, sometimes she gotta be quiet a lot. I mean, give that voice a rest, girl. Let the traveler speak sometimes. But yeah, I genuinely do hope that Hoyoverse kind of gives the traveler a lot more speaking lines in the future. And I think they will. There is a theory that Paimon speaks so much because the traveler doesn't know the language too well. Because if you go to the voice line, she talks about the traveler picking up on the language fast. Yeah. I feel like he knows it. They, like, Ether and Lumine know it well enough to speak well. Because some of the options use big words. Like, sometimes they use big words. It seems like he gets the nuances. Like, the travelers understand the nuances of Tivat's language. I feel like they just don't let him speak because silent protagonists, Ether and Lumine, need to be quiet. And no, they don't. Let them talk. During inner monologue, traveler talks. Maybe this is something that might come soon. Yes, that's why I think like they're gonna use Ether and Lumine a lot more in terms of their voices. It can only go up from here. That's what I've felt since A's second story quest. I've just felt like the writing has improved. And I hope like the interactions and stuff are gonna improve too. And the use of... Oh, by the way, this is random as fuck. And I'm gonna have it in a video. But... when you enter Sumeru City for the first time, and like, if you notice the sound effect that's playing, and I'll have to go back and double check, but when I first played it, I was kind of like freaking out a little bit. When you walk into the city, you can hear the sound effect that Sealy have. Like, if you listen real closely, I'm gonna have to pull up the clip in a video. And maybe I'm misremembering it, so hold on that. But I'm like pretty sure I heard the sound effect for the Sealy. And I was like, is that Paimon's floating, flying sound effect? Because I don't think we've ever heard like a sound effect for her flying, have we?
Let's play.
Also, Paimon has no idea how to read the room. I cannot recall how many times Paimon has made situations worse by opening her mouth. Yeah, sometimes you need to be quiet, girl. You just make things worse. But I think it's because, like, she's naive, childlike. She hasn't... Oh, look, Sealy, we found one. I freaked out when I realized that they started giving out Akasha to everyone immediately when they probably put their plan into action. Okay, wait, okay, so speaking of that, maybe you guys can tell me, because I was kind of confused during Sumeru's Archon quest. When did they start the dream? Like, when did they start putting everyone in the dream? Like, at what point? Maybe I, like, zoned out at that point, but I was like, when did they put them in the dream? Like, where was the official moment? Was it the day of the Sub-Zero's festival? before we even arrived. Okay, but like that doesn't make sense because like aren't people supposed to be asleep or something during the dream? And that's like everybody is caught in a dream. Or is it like... I'm confused. When the Sub-Zero's festival ended, the night after the Sub-Zero's festival failed. Okay, so then the day just repeated itself. It wasn't before or after that? Or, well, definitely not after that, but it wasn't before that. We had a small cutscene of going to bed, and then the day restarted. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, when did this... It started... Okay, okay. Thank you. Uh-oh, there's a weird-looking plant over there. What? What?
Here we go.
Oh, that's one of the thingies that I can play music to. Isn't it? What is this? Where's the little try thingy? Where do I find that? Also, I'm gonna die if I step in this fire. There you go.
Yes. Very nice.
Yeah, the first day was the real one. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, when did it start? When did the dream start? Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, everyone. When they went to... Okay. Okay. I think I get it now. It's the shriveled thing. Oh. Where is that? Oh. Herp derp. Be born again. Oh, wait. No, I need Dendro. There we go. Wait. This is just a jumpy mushroom. Do I need this?
Shine down.
Ah, okay. The fuck? Oh, there's one all the way up here. Interesting. The drawing lit up. What drawing? Paimon, what the fuck are you Oh, there. Okay, okay. Also, can I play the music here? No, I can't. Okay.
Take them. I have no.
Yeah, because I applied pyro to it, that's why. What's over here? Am I supposed to go this way? Okay, so it's pointing in this direction. Oh no, I don't have a pyro character right now.
There is no escape.
But luckily it just popped out of the ground for me. Why did I just use Dendro on that? Okay, but anyway, what were we... Oh, we were talking about the Sub-Zero's festival in the dream. Okay. So it started when they went to bed. After the Sub-Zero's festival failed. Okay. Also, were they physically in the dream? Or were they, like, sleeping and dreaming about it? They were physically in it, right? It was like they created their own little domain of Sumeru's city, right? Or was it like they were in a dream while they were asleep? Which one? Or was it like they were in a domain? I think it was like they were in a domain because there was a lot of references to bubbles and shit. Right? Like when sleeping and dreaming, just dreaming no real things. Okay. Okay. Also, BT dubs. When the traveler described what it looked like outside of the city, you know, like when he steps outside and disappears for a short time. And he described it as a whole bunch of like dream worlds almost, little bubbles, little domains being absorbed into like a sun. For whatever reason, it gave me... It made me think of Vanessa when she gets to Celestia and just sees like a bright light with like some sort of thing. And then what may or may not be a prison. I wonder if Celestia is collecting dreams too. And using them to sustain the world or something. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I'm just rambling now. Don't mind me. In a dream while asleep. But these dreams themselves were like domains. Yeah. Yeah, because he was describing like a whole bunch of people's dreams, basically. But I also think it's interesting because, like I've said, the Akasha system is like the ley lines, right? And then you can think of... See, that's why I think... This is what I talk about when I say, like, parallels and frame stories and stuff like that. The Akasha system works a lot like the ley lines. And if Kusanali is, like, trapped right now and they're using her and the Gnosis or whatever to sustain the Akasha system or something, I don't freaking know. That would be, like, kind of like the Irminsul, the ley lines. And, oh my god. Ignore me. Just ignore me. Let me ramble. And just be like, okay, Onion's having his little brain rot moment. We should just ignore him. Can Vanessa become a future playable character? I hope she becomes playable. I really do. I hope we see her, because right now, all we know is she's like a falcon or something. That's like flying around somewhere. The ley lines are the internet and the Akasha system is Google, pretty much. Pretty much. But like the ley lines also connect the world together. That's what one of the descriptions of it in like the in-game in-between scenes, like whenever you teleport somewhere or whatever. One of the screens about the ley lines say that they connect the world together, which is a very interesting way to describe that. Which may also be how the teleport waypoints work, because if they function via the ley lines, then it makes sense that we can teleport everywhere since the ley lines connect the world. But anyway, similarly to how the ley lines connect the world, the Akasha system connects people. It's like, they describe Sumeru City as the brain, right? And I think the Irminsul tree is like the brain of the world. And again, I think Istaroth is that brain. She's like controlling it. I mean, Vanessa in theory, yeah, isn't dead. So yeah, I think there's a good chance she might become playable. I think we're definitely gonna meet her at some point. If anything, we are definitely gonna meet her. Wasn't Rukkhadevata likened to the sun? She was. Well, that's what people think, rather. I should say that's what people think. People are interpreting what Nahida said when she's like, I'm just the moon. The real sun is already long gone. That's why people think it's talking about Nahida herself and Rukkhadevata. But I also think, to be honest, there's more to that than meets the eye. Onion, please explain how the God of Time became the brain that holds the world together, please. I could, but I'm going to wait for Istaroth's video. I have to talk about all suspects of the Moon Sisters first. Then I can talk about what I think happened to all three of them. I would love to hear what Vanessa has to say about Venti and the Second Mondstadt Rebellion. Yeah. I mean, it seems like... What? 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 What the fuck are you talking about, Paimon? What? What symbol? Oh, this symbol. Well, it looks like I lit up one side. So what about the other ones? Let's see. Okay, as long as it gets explained. Brain going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yes. Ayato finally off of life support. I know, I had the boy almost close to death. I'm so sorry. The Akasha system is its own internet from the sounds of it. So it's not connected to the ley lines, but instead gets data. But instead data gets copied. No, like when I say it's like the ley lines, I just mean it parallels well with the ley lines. It's not like the ley lines itself. It definitely is its own system, and from what we know, it functions via the Gnosis somehow. Who knows how? But I also do... Okay, so this is the other interesting thing that kind of surprised me, but also didn't. because then it made certain things make sense. So you know how people can connect to the Irminsul tree? Like, it seems like anyone can do this if they practice. I mean, like, not everyone can do it, right? But it seems like normal people can just connect to the tree and gain knowledge from it. I've talked about the Princess of Solvindignir before, right? And she had the power to, like, see the visions of the past, or like visions of the future, really. We don't know if she was able to see the past, but she was definitely able to see the future. Because she saw Durin. So I wonder if she was just like one of those people, and that's why she could see into the future. She just had a connection with the Irminsul tree, which was kind of implied because she was born under the Irminsul tree, so I had always assumed something to do with the tree. Like, her visions had something to do with the tree itself. But that's what I thought about that after they dropped. Oh yeah, anyone can connect to this tree, by the way. Intranet, not internet. Right, sorry. I think it's because it's similar to astrology. The sun takes action, is prominent, and a symbol of raw power. The moon, on the other hand, takes a supportive role often and often reconsiders and hesitates. Yes. No, that wasn't a bad description. No, I understood what you were trying to say. That's a good way to describe it. The sun and moon are always likened to each other. They're usually siblings in stories as well, or at least like gods and goddesses that are the sun and moon. Or like somehow they're the child of the sun or child of the moon, something like that. Like in Greek mythology, Selene and Helios are siblings. And a whole other mythology, whole other bunch of mythologies are like that. Wasn't she born under the tree? Yeah, she was, yes. Thoughts on Dory being non-standard human, I guess, maybe. With Alice doing her video when it's another world hopper, Alice last narrated. I don't know if Dory's from another world. I don't think she is. I don't know if she is. I think she is human. What interests me is that she has a genie. And I'm wondering where the fuck she got it from. Is it like Oz? Is like a familiar that Fischl produced herself with her vision powers? Or is it like an actual genie? Because we have lore about genies and everything, that they are actual creatures in the world. And I'm pretty sure that they're the ones that are in the weapons of those enemies, of the new enemies, that give them elemental powers, or at least that's my suspicion. Oh. But anyway. It might be an actual genie, honestly. Yeah, I felt like it was an actual genie. But I wonder where the hell she got it from if that's the case. I want to learn more about them, which we will learn more about them in the desert, because the Scarlet King captured a whole bunch of them in bottles or whatever, silver bottles. And they're like buried in the desert or something. I'm sure we're gonna meet them at some point. Or at least that's what I hope. Yeah, I don't think she's from another world. Alice said before, us and Aloy, it's been known for centuries. But it also sounds like Alice got her djinn from her. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, that would be interesting. Yeah, I just want to learn more about the djinn, and the genies. Yeah, siblings like our traveler. Ether as the sun, Lumina as the moon. Yeah, because I've heard people saying that, like, because Lumine has darker, cooler shades that's used in her design. And then Ether's more bright and yellow and golden like the sun. But I think ultimately both of them are little sunflowers. And I also really think they're from this world. They are from Tivat. They definitely are. That's what I'm thinking. They are not from another world. The world just looks super different. They might be from another world, who knows. And Lumine has the crescent sword hilt. Yes, she does. That's a good point. By the way, wait, okay, we're gonna take a trip to Enkanomiya because I want to know if I'm crazy or not. I want to know if I'm crazy or not, or if people agree or disagree. Hold on. So you know how there are like weapons around Enkanomiya just like sitting around and they're all crusted and stuff because they haven't been used in a while. They're like almost fossilized. Excuse me, fossilized. Let me see if I can find one. Also, I love Enkanomiya. The music is just amazing. But the scenery is so sad. No, get away. Get away. Aha, there's one. Do these look similar to the Traveler's weapons, like this sword? A little bit. Just a little bit. I don't fucking know. I don't even remember what his sword looks like, to be honest, actually. I do know their swords look like the first and second heirs. Or at least the second heirs. I don't think the first heir was holding a sword. But the second heir was holding one, and their swords look a lot like the second heir's sword. Yes, they do to me. They sort of have the same circle in the middle. Yes, that is suspicious. That was always suspicious to me. But I've always been like, I don't know, because I could just be seeing things. It wouldn't be the first time.
Here we go.
Hold on, I'll go back to it in a second after I kill these ruin guards. Yeah, like the circle thingy in the middle. And the thing is, one of the Sin Shades said that she hasn't seen people with clothes like ours in a long time, which implies that she's seen people dressed like Ether and Lumine, which makes me really suspicious about all of the civilizations that have lived, like the unified civilization on Tevat. And it also makes me very suspicious of Celestia and solidifies. It's like solidifying more for me. The twins are from Celestia. The twins are from Celestia. Genshin is just hella confusing to me. Yes. Also, the lore books. Can I complain about the lore books a little bit? The lore books are really confusing if you don't, like, know what to look for. It's like reading Shakespeare some fucking times. Like, some of them are so confusing. Like, Vera's melancholy. It took me so long to actually, like, figure out what the hell was going on in that story. I don't know if it's, like, the translations or if it's just how they're written. But sometimes they're really confusing. There are lore books that are more straightforward to me. But then there are just lore books that just fucking make my brain spin. And I don't like it. I don't. I don't. The lore books suck and the archive is so laggy. Yeah, so like I read shit on the Genshin wiki. I don't bother reading stuff in game most of the time. One, because it's just easier to also consolidate stuff when I'm researching. And for notes, so I don't have to fucking pull up the game all the time. But also because the archive is annoying to use, in my opinion. It's okay, but I don't like the layout. It's all jumbled together as well, and I don't know. I just wish it was... I wish it was organized in a better looking way so it wouldn't be as draining to read. I don't know. Trying to teach active reading. Yeah. The Fox and the Dandelion Sea was so confusing to me. Yeah, I like that story, but it was like it's a lot of the lore books are so confusing. But also, a lot of the lore books are really, really sus. And they are really interesting as frame stories. Hex and Hound was my most enjoyable. That shit was funny to me. Some dude getting turned into a fucking dog. And then becoming a slave to a witch. That was funny. Maybe it was just too late at night, though. My brain rotted away trying to understand the Crimson King artifact set thingy. Oh, the one about the Scarlet King? Yeah, that one's written interestingly, too. I don't know. Does it make sense, by the way, when I say, like, frame story to people, and when I say certain things actually mean other things in the game, and, like, certain characters, like the Scarlet King or the Goddess of Flowers, are supposed to parallel with, like, the first Seelie, the Traveler from Afar, the Primordial one, does that make any sense? Or, like, Enkanomiya is one big frame story for the story of Genshin Impact. Okay. It does. Okay. Because I feel like it can get confusing, and it is confusing, and I don't explain that well, but yes. Easy yes. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. What the fuck was I going to pull up? There was something I was gonna pull up, and then I forgot. Why are we still in Enkanomiya, by the way? I'm done with this place. Let's go back to Sumeru. I think I'm gonna stream for 30 minutes more, and then I'm gonna leave. I think that's pretty good. Yes, you explain stuff pretty well, actually. Yes, thank you. I hope so. I hope I do. Because I don't want to confuse people. Genshin's already fucking confusing. Aha, you made it. Hello, Meh. Welcome. You made it to the last 30 minutes. I just want less being just in artifacts. Okay, that's a good point. I'll complain about that after I read your entire comment. I'm still mad about Senora. I expected her to die, and I think that was the interesting story choice, but so few people know her back. What? What just happened? Why did that happen? But so many people, yes. Okay, so it's my personal belief that most things in artifact sets are going to be talked about later and introduced in the story later. So, like, the Fox and the Dandelion, well, that's a lore book, but people think the Dandelion Sea is real, and I do too. I think it's going to be a domain, or like a big area that we're going to get to go to. But like the Thundering Fury artifact set told about the Thunderbird and Rue, and we got to learn, we literally got an island based off of that artifact set, which was really cool. We heard about the Crimson Witch of Flames, and it turned out to be Senora, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm one of those copium people. Why is the Traveler dead? Why did you die? Did I fall off? Is that why the map did that? Probably. But I think Senora's coming back, y'all. I know it's copium. I know it's copium. I know it is copium. But I think she's gonna come back, whether through leyline shenanigans, etc., etc. It's kind of like what I was saying in the Harbinger video. We haven't talked about, like, in the main story, we haven't really talked about how the Cataclysm affected Mondstadt outside of Durin, but we haven't gone into, like, any of the knights that lived during that time and stuff like that. And I do think they are going to talk about it in the main story. Like, whether through, like, a Venti story quest or something else. Maybe even a Varka story quest. Who knows? But I do think we will see Senora again. You don't pause in co-op. Oh, I'm still in fucking co-op. Well, let's go back to single player. Thank y'all. I'm so scatterbrained. You cried when she died? Or it's during Surumi Island? Yes, during Surumi Island, yes, that whole story quest is so sad. The music, Rue. I'm just gonna say this. Hands down, Surumi Island is the saddest place in this game. And I'm talking about the entire island because it's just the ambiance, the music, everything is so creepy, especially after you finish everything and the ghosts, like, vanish. It's just so sad. The music is so eerie. The music is so depressing. And that is why I never want to go there for anything except for a commission. Senora's moths are so sus too, damn. Yeah, like she has a theme of death and resurrection. And like some people think the resurrection part was when she was reborn as the Crimson Witch of Flames. After, you know, her lover died, which was Rostam, I believe. And she was reborn as the Crimson Witch of Flames. But it might be more than just that. We might see her again. Also, there's a growing theme of like resurrection, by the way, with the introduction of Phanes and then maybe even the stuff we're going to learn about Rukkhadevata and Kusanali. So maybe there is a way. And also the Aranaras did say death is just a one-time loss of memory. And if you guys remember what I said during my brain rot during 1.5, I quoted the Kitsune Saigu from, I think it was the Shimenawa Reminiscence Artifact set. And she said that death, or losing one's memory is no different than losing one's life. It is like death amidst darkness eternal. So ever since that, that quote, I've always thought that death in this game not necessarily means, it might not mean actual death, but just a loss of memory. In certain cases, I'll say, not all the time. Oh my God. How am I supposed to get this thing? Come down here, please. But for them to reinforce, like, death is just a one-time loss of memory. It furthers my suspicion that the Moon Sisters also did not actually die. But one of them probably lost her memory. And also... Oh, thank God. Okay, Jesus. So you think the Scarlet King will be back? I don't think he will. Maybe. Maybe we'll even get to like fight a boss of him or something. But I think the dude who he represents, who I really think it's the Primordial one, slash Phanes. I do think those two are different, but they get conflated with the two, so you can consider them. Anyway, let me not confuse it. Okay. I do think since if he is supposed to be like, if he's supposed to parallel with the Primordial one or Phanes, then he will have a theme of resurrection. And we've already seen that in the lore, right? Because the people are trying to, there's like a faction that thinks he's still alive, right? Or that he can be resurrected, right? It's really sus. I want to see, also, oh my god. Okay. Also, just saying. You guys saw the stuff of the desert region, right? In that one trailer that came out, where it showed the little dog statue, Anubis looking statue, and then it showed what looked like a statue of Ra, who, by the way, we will be talking about in Phanes' video. We will be talking about Ra. We will be talking about Osiris as well. But Ra was conflated with Osiris in the underworld, which makes me even more suspicious about the Primordial one being a god of the underworld in this game, like the voice and will of the abyss. It makes me even more suspicious. Anyway, ignore that. Do you think we will ever get a glimpse of what the Scarlet King, God of Flowers, and Rukkhadevata looked like? No, it looks like you spelled it right. I think we're gonna see what Rukkhadevata looked like. I don't know about the Scarlet King and God of Flowers. We might, but if we do, I'm thinking Rukkhadevata's probably gonna look either like Colin, though I think honestly the Goddess of Flowers probably might look like Colin or take design elements from Colin. So that's for the Goddess of Flowers. For Ruka Devata, I really think she might be more of just, and it's mostly just because of me thinking that Istaroth turned into the Irminsul tree and the Moon Sisters were involved with the Irminsul tree, and it sounds like Ruka Devata also became a tree, so I think that she parallels well with the Moon Sisters. Again, that's assuming any of that is correct, which it might not be. I think she might look like whoever Istaroth's Honkai Impact counterparts are going to look like. So that's either Aponia, in my opinion, or maybe even Cecilia. Or someone else. I don't fucking know. As for the Scarlet King, it's sounding a hell of a lot like this dude is an Auto XP. So he might look like Auto Apocalypse in some way. I mean, Genshin equals Proto-God, yes. Also, he might be Celestia based on some of the books, which makes him even more sus, which makes the Scarlet King even more sus, because it says he was, like, abandoned or something, right? By the sky, and he would always, like, look at the sky or some shit. So it does sound like he used to live in Celestia. Which means we get more Celestia lore. Hopefully. Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, that's what I think the Scarlet King, God of Flowers, Goddess of Flower, and Ruka Devata will look like. Scarlet King, maybe like Otto, I don't know. And I think we may see him, maybe. God of Flowers might look like Colin. And Ruka Devata might look like Aponia, or even fucking, what's her face, Cecilia. Anime, I still think that the fog in Tsurumi Island should have been a permanent mechanic, because the fog made Tsurumi Island so cool. Now it's just like any other island and it's lost its uniqueness. Yeah, the fog made it look really cool, really creepy. I wish we could like toggle it on or off. It would have been interesting if they like, you know how like the Apom, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but these woods have like the whole thing where you can control whether it rains or whether it's sunny. They should have done that for Tsurumi Island, like after you beat everything. And they could have involved puzzles with it and stuff like that. That would have been an interesting idea. How many auto-like characters are we gonna get? Girl, I don't know. But it seems like a lot, because Dottore... Oh, I said this earlier, but it sounds like Dottore. What am I looking for? What the fuck am I looking for? I'm looking for the artifact sets. It sounds like Dottore. Can I read this here? Yes, I can. Might be an auto XP in more ways than one. Just... Okay, here we go. Here we go. No, wait, no. No, this is the one. Okay, this is the one. Okay. So this says, all things that die will gain new life in some other form, which also makes me think that we're gonna see Senora again and maybe the people who are dead. All things that decay will sprout pure and tender new shoots. This also feels like it might be referring to like a whole bunch of people, but think Kusanali, Ruka Devata, Kusanali being like an offshoot or like a depowered version of Ruka Devata. Or possibly the Goddess of Flowers, that's an option now. Anyway, but those souls who had been destroyed by death, memories that are eternally lost, is there a place for them in the cycle of life and death? The soul is a void concept, and memories must one day return to the land. What is there to worry about if something that was always void were to fade away? Rather, remind and support one another, such that everyone's image will be remembered forever. Thus shall we defeat the natural cycle of life and death, and preserve memory forever. Much later, the friends who had agreed to remind one another would be infected with the wicked disease of forgetfulness, according to the image of the 3 people and 3 spirits that had not been wholly forgotten, and the records and conjectures left behind by the mad scientist who was expelled by the academy. So this is talking about Dottore. The dream had to be captured. along with the inhabitants of the forest who could control dreams, to remind that friend once again of one's own form and the memories that were shared. Okay. So I feel like this is kind of giving us a little bit of an insight in why Dottore really wants, like what he's doing in Sumeru. Because if you guys read the little notes around that talk about Zandik and the expedition team that he was in, and there was a girl that apparently it seemed like, I don't know if it was entirely romantic, and I don't know how he felt about the girl, but they had picnics together. It sounded like they were friends. And then she ended up dying, right? And then this little bit about Dottore, or about the dream, it says to remind that friend once again of one's own form and the memories that were shared. We know that she died. I wonder if Dottore is conducting all of this experimentation in order to revive this girl that he lost. If he is an Otto XP, that would make a lot of sense because, you know, Otto's whole goal was to revive Colin. I wonder if Dottore has his own Colin, and that was the girl who died. Now, I want you guys to remember that in my Harbinger video, I talked about Columbina, right? And how Columbina, at least in the Commedia dell'arte, sometimes was Dottore's daughter. There were certain relationships that they had in the play. And so I speculated that Columbina might have been an artificial being or something like that. That Dottore made in the image of someone either, I said Pantalone knew or Piero knew. But instead of that, what if it's just someone who Dottore knew? What if he's trying to like revive his friend who died? And like he made someone in the image of her? And then he's trying to revive her memories. Y'all, this is what happens. This is what fucking happens when you leave me alone and let me read shit. I look too much into things. I start rambling. I start getting fucking crazy. I don't fucking know. Wait, what? Dottore actually having feelings for someone? I know, that's surprising, right? I don't know if he does. But it would make sense if he is an auto clone. There's at least one person he's got to care about. And I don't know. Now I'm thinking more about Dottore and Columbina and their relationship. But this is all assuming that Zandik, which, let's be real, Zandik is probably Dottore. If he's trying to like what if he's trying to steal the Aranara and use their powers for dreams or whatever, all so that he can eventually revive someone? Like, what if that's what he's doing? What if we'll learn about that from like one of his segments or some shit? I don't fucking know. I wish the Harbingers were more accurate to their Commedia counterparts, but that's just me. Yeah, we'll see. I think they are. I think they take elements from the Commedia dell'arte, and that they are somewhat like their counterparts, but not in the way in which most people would think. Like, not in direct ways. I don't fucking know. Like, I was talking about Capitano, and how he could be a fraud, like his Commedia counterpart. Or how he could be exposed like his Commedia counterpart. It's not in the conventional way of like being exposed as a liar or something like that, but being exposed as being like an empty suit of armor or corpse or some shit. I don't fucking know. I feel like the Commedia is like before they became a harbinger or something like that. Yeah, possibly. Like, cause like Child, Tartaglia, right? He's not a stutterer in the game, or at least that we know of for now. We don't really know. Well, first of all, we're gonna revisit Child in the future of the game because the dude is sus. He was in the Abyss, and we need to learn more about that. We need to hear more about that. But like, he's not a stutterer like his Commedia counterpart. At least not in the way he talks, but he might be a stutterer in a different way. What way that is, I don't know. But I'm saying it doesn't have to be like he stutters with his words. It could be he stutters with something else. I don't know. Maybe he was before he fell into the Abyss. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he used to be, I don't fucking know. Who knows? If that isn't the doctor, I'll eat my hat. Yeah, it's Zandik has to be the doctor. Maybe that's why he has like so many clones or something. I don't know. Hermes, maybe Columbina is a vessel he created and now he needs her memories. Yeah, so like what if he's using her? It's like a what's a good analogy? Why does Kingdom Hearts come to mind? Because fake bodies and shit are everything. Like, it's like in Kingdom Hearts, how Naminé and Roxas and all of them. Sorry, I'm spoiling the plot of Kingdom Hearts 3, but they're placed in replica bodies. Their hearts are placed in replica bodies. So like their entire beings are put in artificial bodies so they can live as humans. What if it's something like that? What if he's trying to... I don't know what this man is doing. I don't know what Dottore is doing. But if he is like Otto, I could see him having a love story of some sort. And when I read that artifact set, it just made me wonder. Are Boba Mans on life support again? Oh my god, I should go to a statue. I like to think when Child was younger, he had a terrible stutter, and that might be very plausible, but we don't know too much about him. Like his childhood, I want to hear more about it. I want to go to his hometown, which I'm sure we will. Maybe he'll be our guide into Snezhnaya. Yes, the replicas, yes. Traveler and Ayato on life support. Yes, I have revived them. New chat party game. Take a shot every time Onion says, I don't know. That's a lot. Ciao, I don't know. There you go again. It's the exact same thing. Ah, Onion, did you get me? Yes. It's like the aranara. He's using her as an organic memory drive. Yeah. Y'all, I can't wait to learn more about Dottore. And I also want him to be playable, which I think he will be. I'm pretty sure he will be. Or at least one of his segments. Don't you think Dottore shares more with Mobius than Otto? Yeah, he could. I mean, like, the thing about Dottore is that he has, like, multiple segments of himself, and Otto also had, like, little artificial bodies. That's kind of how he was surviving for 500 years. He was, like, making, little vessels for himself in his little lab. He's also cruel. Dottore seems to be very cruel. Does child experimentation, just like Otto. But I can see them being similar to Mobius as well. See, the thing is, most characters in Genshin are like, they seem to be combinations of Honkai Impact XPs. So like, there could be multiple elements of like 2 different characters from Honkai Impact, all combined into one Genshin character. So like, it doesn't have to be just one character. Do we know how old Zandik is? I have no idea. I don't think we do. Have they talked about his age? Like, were any of the notes? I don't think any of the notes were clear about his age. Harjin. So Dotori will be the first playable character without a vision. I have no idea, but doesn't he have like telekinetic abilities or some shit? Like with his weapon? At least from the manga. I don't know what he was doing. But that would be interesting if he didn't have a vision. And none of the XPs are 1-to-1, and a lot of, yeah, like a lot of them are just blends. Technically, that's the Traveler, oh god. We know Child's personality changed after the Abyss. He got his drive to fight constantly. That is also a good point. So that theory you guys are talking about, Child being different before his Abyss thing, that is a good point. So maybe he was like a stutterer before, like a coward, before he dropped into the Abyss. Onion, do you watch any Genshin lore YouTubers? Like theorists, like lore theorists, or like people completely dedicated to explaining just lore and no theories? I'm gonna assume you mean both. I've watched Island. I watch Island. Hi Island, if you're watching this, hello. I've watched Tivat Historia. I've watched BitShark, which I don't think BitShark's uploaded anything recently, but I watched his videos. He was pretty good. I hope he uploads again. I watched Whale Milk. I've watched Ashikai. I watch a lot of people because I like to hear different opinions. Who else? I watch Clementine. He's so good at like explaining lore. Who else? I don't know. There's a lot of people that I've seen. I've seen Arlem Grin's videos. I've seen Orange Juice's videos, if you know her. Oh, Chill with Aster. I've watched her videos too. Who the fuck else, y'all? I used to watch Facepalm the Third. When he used to post. I don't think he posts theories anymore though. Love BitShark. A shame he hasn't uploaded in some time. Yeah, it's a shame. He was really good. Oh my, how did I open this? Okay, wait. Onion, wait, I already read that. Remember when people thought Kusanali was gonna be a Mobius XP, or am I confusing her for someone else? Oh yeah, I think people were, I don't know if they thought she was gonna be a Mobius XP, or if they were just using pictures because Mobius is green, and we know the Dendro Archon was probably gonna have like green in her design. But yes, I remember that. You watch Ashikai and Chill with Aster mostly. Yeah, Ashikai's really good. Aster's really good too. Oh yes, Wei. I watched Wei, and I've watched Cat with the blue hat. Yeah. Yes, I've seen those channels as well. In the later parts of the Sumeru Archon quest, do you think Kale will have to meet Dotori again and confront her trauma? I 100% think that will happen. I'm really hoping it does. We've already got like a little bit of insight into Elazar, right? And not Dotori, and Kale's affliction. And I really want to see that come full circle. I want to see her meet Dotori. Confront him. And him be like, girl, who are you? I don't even remember you. Oh, you're the trash I used to experiment on? Oh, okay. That's what I want to happen, and her to get upset. I want the Archon residue to appear again. I love Kale, but I kind of want her to suffer again. I want to see her get evil. But that probably won't happen, especially since she's got a vision now. Like, that's what I'm interested in. I wonder how having a vision affects, like, her relationship with her Archon residue that's sealed inside of her. Like, does it affect her? Like, can it affect her as much? Because visions provide some level of protection. Child, I don't know. He will definitely remember, though, yes. I didn't think she'd be Mobius. I just hoped we'd get an XP since I like her. Oh, I think we're definitely going to get an XP of, like, probably all of the flame chasers. If we don't already have some. I'm like convinced we're gonna get XPs of all the flame chasers. Oh, speaking of them, and this will also be lore books, a very sus lore book. Princess Mina of the Fallen Nation. That book mentioned something very similar to the flame chasers. Like, let me read it. If I can fucking find it. Here it is. First of all, this book, we're gonna talk about it later, but this book is super sus. But there was a thingy that was said in here. Where is it? Nah, not Nakura's Hex, which is very, very suspicious. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Okay. This will all end as long as we defeat the evil overlords. That's what we believed then. Naive fools that we were. That was just the beginning of the nightmare. The 13 samurai banded together to defeat the Nakura daimyo who had been destroying this nation. But Kogami did not revive with the daimyo gone, and the life force of the land continued to bleed away. So, this immediately made me think of the Flame Chasers and how they had to fight the 14th Hersher, the Hersher of the End. 13 samurai banding together to beat this big bad who had been destroying the world. I don't know, that was just interesting. We're going to talk about this lore book later. But yeah, I think they're going to all have XPs. I personally want to see someone beat his butt, if only because I can cross it off my Genshin bingo. Yes, please. Someone beat Dottore up. But also, can we play him? He just has such a cool character design as well. I want to play him. Okay, Sino said that if her seal broke, she would die. But now she got a vision, so it's hard to know. Yeah, like, it's hard to know. Because obviously, okay, so there's Dunyarzad, right? And she was just wrecked by Elazar. And it sounds like she had it since she was a child, or at least, maybe even when she was born, I don't know. But clearly it was extremely debilitating for her. And while it's debilitating for Kale, it doesn't seem like, I don't know. I can't say that it doesn't affect her as much. I just don't know how debilitating it is for her. But I do think it's interesting that the Archon residue was like preventing the effects of Elazar and like keeping her condition stable. I want to learn more about it. Her disease is not connected to Archon residue though. I don't know though, like, because the Archon residue, it sounds like it was preventing the effects of Elazar. She already had it as a child, right? So like, and if I'm not mistaken, Kale had it from when she was a child, right? That's why her parents gave her up. Like her mom gave her up to the Fatui because she thought they were gonna cure her, but they didn't actually cure her. They did just keep her condition stable. Oh, I killed another kitty. All right, looks like Ayato, you have to die as penance. If I can explode the barrel. Let me stand in the fire. Actually, fuck the cat. I'm not gonna die. But yeah, I don't think it was the Archon residue which kept her disease, but Dottore's treatment. But I thought the Archon residue was the quote-unquote treatment they gave her. Sounds like you're born with the illness, and yeah, Kale isn't as far with it, yeah. I don't know. How do I think her story will play out? I don't know. I think, well, I can tell you this. I definitely do think, again, that Dottore and Kale will have their little face-off. Oh, I hate when I don't have a pyro character.
Be still.
There you go. I think they're gonna have her little. She's gonna have her little face-off. She's gonna have some character growth as well. Maybe even when Kusanali gets enough power, she might cure Dunyarzad and Kale. That would be nice to see. Didn't they say that in-game? The Archon residue helped a bit with the Elazar. Yeah, I thought they did say that in-game. Yeah, and only 2 escaping when, oh look how many flame chasers are alive in the present. Yep. So I think Princess Mina and the Fallen Nation mirrors that moment, but I also want y'all to realize that didn't the Travelers, weren't they the only ones that escaped their homeworld? Only 2 escaped? They were the only ones who allegedly escaped whatever disaster happened to their homeworld. So I think that book is really sus. Oh, look, a chest I haven't opened. Wait, there might be one up here, too, that I just completely ignored. I don't think we actually know what the treatment is yet. It could be the residue, it could be something else. Yeah,
Think you can
I don't know. But I do think Kale will have her moment. And I do think she gonna be cured. Well, at least I hope so. I just want to know what causes Elazar, you know? I want to know what causes it.
Should you have any use for them?
And does it have to do with the gods? Does it have to do with bishops? What does it have to do with? Talking about Elazar, I've been theorizing about Baiju's mysterious illness is Elazar. That would be interesting. Speaking of frickin' Baiju, what the fuck do y'all think is going on with Baiju? Okay, so Maria, you just said you thought that Baiju's mysterious illness is Elazar. And I'd say that's fair. That's plausible to me. But like, what do you think he is? Who do you think he is? He's very suspicious.
Happy to oblige.
And if you guys realize, he is like nowhere in sight for, like, as a releasable character, at least from what I know. Again, don't spoil anything if he is on any lists, because I really don't know, but like, he's nowhere to be found.
I'll keep this close.
It's really suspicious, which makes me think he might be like a god or something. And the one thing that really makes me suspicious is, again, Enkanomiya, because one of the Sun Children sounded a hell of a lot very similar to Baiju. Like, weirdly similar. I'm thinking the Lantern Festival. I'm hoping the Lantern Festival. I thought he was the old Dendro Archon, but now he can't be, and I don't know. See, yeah, it's so confusing. I feel like there's just gonna be this massive twist that we will not see coming when it comes to Baiju. For real, like, no one talks about him. I want to know more. Right, no one talks about him. Matcha, they turn into bishops. Yeah, because didn't they describe Elazar as, like, something about dragon scales or something? I mean, maybe I just fucking imagined that shit. Yeah, and the blurbs we got for their character introduction. Yeah. Yep. The Travelers are sus. That story is sus. And I low-key think it's talking about the Travelers. We've seen more of Yao Yao's possible release in the future than Baiju, honestly. And Yao Yao hasn't even appeared in-game. Yeah. Now, she'll probably come out during Lantern Rite Festival, but I have no idea about Baiju. She, like, appeared once. And she was in this, official art a long time ago for Lantern Rite. It was like a picture of her, Lumine, and then or was it her, Kaching, and Paimon? It was either her, Lumine, and Paimon, or her, Kaching, and Paimon. But that came out like a long time ago. I used to somewhat believe he was the old Dendro Archon long before Sumeru came out. However, I do believe he's definitely not human and is a god of some sort. Yeah, and like, if we read the lore of the Viridescent, right? Of Viridescent Venerer, didn't she encounter him in the woods or something? Or she encountered a blind boy in the woods? By the way, there it is. Blind. Blind is such an important thing in Genshin Impact, and we'll talk about how. But yeah, didn't like the Viridescent Venerer run into like a blind boy, and people think that blind boy is Baiju or something? Her, Chi-Chi, and Paimon, thank you. She was she was on an official art yesterday too. Oh, look at this. We can do this puzzle, but I need a Pyro character. Spidey. Spidey. It's 2:15 a.m. I appreciate that you're here, but go to bed. You boy, young boy, go to bed. It's too late for you. It's too late over yonder in the UK. Go to bed. Or wherever you live. Wait, she was? Wait, who are you talking? Are you talking about the Viridescent? Or she encountered a boy in the woods, but he didn't die or something. Yeah, something like that. There was like something like that. And like, there are certain people who think that that boy was actually Baiju. But if he is, then that would definitely make him more than 500 years old.
Off we go.
But I don't know. That art book also has child in his formal wear we saw in the Harbinger video. Oh, interesting. And this makes me think Baiju could be related. Oh, fuck. Well, this is why you don't go up there without full stamina, I guess. Are there little thingies I can just ride on or something? No, there aren't. Okay. Oh, no, Yao Yao. She was in a... Yeah. No, like, she was in that Lantern Rite, thingy. It was like a Lantern Rite photo picture thing. But it was like with Chi-Chi and Paimon or something. And they were like eating dumplings or something. But that was like... It was released a long time ago. Oh. Let me revive you, because I need you. Mihoyo posted non-Lantern Rite Yao Yao yesterday. Yes, I saw that. I was like, oh, she's real? She's actually coming now? Just give... Oh my fucking god. Okay. Actually, this is what I wanted, because it's right here. But wait, I need a not a Dendroculus. A Dendrograna. Or whatever the fuck those things are called. Yao Yao only had the lantern. Yeah, that's the only one that I knew of that she had. The Lantern Rite one. And Zhongli didn't even know who Baiju even was, if that doesn't scream so. Yeah, it's super sus. It's Zhongli knows who he is, he's just keeping quiet. Like, he keeps quiet about everything. Remember, he ain't no snitch. Contracts and shit. Where the fuck? Where is the... Where? Oh, it's over here. Holy crap. Oh, wait, that's a music thing. Oh, no, I have to revive it with the music. Okay, I remember. I'm good now. I'm not scatterbrained anymore. All right, let's revive this thingy. Zhongli is 6k years old. Yes, he knows everything and everyone. He just doesn't want to say anything. He knows what Paimon is, too. And so does Venti. These little liars. They're just super quiet. They know exactly what Paimon is. They know who Baiju is. Oh, ew, it's the flying one. I hate these. I feel like Paimon's a Seelie. Oh yeah, especially after Sumeru and all the hints at Paimon being a Seelie during the aranara quests and otherwise, yeah. She's definitely like a Seelie, probably. Oh, Onion, to understand my and this makes me think comment, you gotta read the first part of my message above. Okay. Wait. What first oh god, that means I have to scroll up. Hold on.
Mind the deluge.
Die. There you go.
Let's play.
Ugh. Oh wait, can I finally upgrade my sword now? Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Give me a second, I'm gonna read comments in a moment. Nope, I need one more. And I also need more of these things. Okay, whatever.
Have you heard
Even the
bell?
aranara seem to know, yes. Yes. Very, very sus. And they kept on referring to Paimon or calling her silver like the moon. Silver, pale, and white are usually described in, like, they're usually words to describe the moon in the game. Paimon has all of those traits. That was so damn sus. Yes. Yes. Very, very sus. You could probably craft that material. See, I used all of those materials, like all of the ones that I had, to craft the purple ones, and I could only make about 16, so I just got the 17th one from a drop. But yeah, I might be able to craft it now that we've farmed some of them. You're right. After we get this chest, I'm gonna go craft it.
Be still.
Also, let me heal y'all. Oh, your ult is finally fucking ready. Good. I'm gonna use it up there though. Good night, Matcha. Thank you for joining the stream. We're about to end here too. Once I get this chest and craft my sword, we're gonna end it. Wait, Leo, I still want to read your comment. But I have to scroll up for that.
Let's play.
And then talking about Paimon becoming a seed. Yes. Isn't it sus? And it's also sus again. Oh, well.
I have failed you.
If you've done, I don't want to spoil it, but there's something you can do with the shriveled seed. In one of the quests. One of the hidden world quests. I'll let you find out what that is on your own. But you can use it. And it's just interesting that you can turn a seed into you-know-who. Into you-know-what. There's just a lot of imageries of people turning into seeds and trees and being able to be regrown. And reviving things based on memories. It's all very sus. And it makes me think a lot more about Miss Paimon. It makes me really think Sis really might have been a moon sister.
Here we go.
And a Seelie.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Wait, hold on.
Let's
Why is Ayato always on his deathbed? Because I'm horrible at taking care of my party members. Again, I suck at this game.
Be still.
There you go, Ayato, heal up. Woo, there you go. Alright, let me go craft. And then we're gonna log off. Rip Venti, oof. Hello, you lost the burst because he died. I know, I'm so bad. I'd be thrilled to hear your reaction to it. Okay, wait, let me read it after I find... Wait, hold on. Yeah, like Hilichurl, they realize are humans, but they don't call Paimon Nara. Yeah, it's really sus. Like, I don't think Paimon was lying when she said she was a god. She definitely wasn't lying. Speaking of Paimon, and what we were talking about earlier about the Irminsul and people being able to connect to it, now I'm really like suspicious of Paimon because I'm almost certain she has a connection with the Irminsul, which is how she has no memories, but then she also has information about all of the regions for whatever reason, for a very unexplained reason. And just like random bits of knowledge, but like none of her memories. This is the wrong thing. Why am I looking at that? Where is it? Is this it? No, this isn't it. This is it. All I need is one. I also need those golden thingies. Let me see. Aha, I need... Fuck. Okay, we're gonna make 3 of these. Tar Talia, lover of Snezhnayan Queen. Yeah, I've heard that song. Griffin is hilarious. Perhaps she's the god of travel guides. Huh, the god of travel guides. You mean like the Seelie, like how they guide humans to treasure and shit? You're not gonna level up the artifacts from earlier? Oh. Why don't we level up that nice hat that I got? Like the really good one. I'll do it after this sword. All right, let's hurry this on up. I love having the Raiden Shogun because she lets you save Mora when you do swords and polearms. All right, let's see the hat. Oh, this is why I have this on you. I need to get him a full Dendro set. I don't have one yet. Let's see. So y'all are gonna hate what I'm about to do. But this is what I do. I scroll down and I use artifacts that I used like leveled up, but that turned out to be trash. And I just sacrifice them. Because I heard this is not efficient for Mora, but I like don't care. Say goodbye to those. I mean, okay, that's not horrible. What the fuck is Kale's 4th character story? Oh my god. I haven't read any of Kale's stuff. I need to go in and read. There's just a lot to go through right now. That's why you need Kokomi. You know what? Doesn't she have a banner right now? Or does she? Am I just making that up? Does she have a banner right now or did she have a banner? That's pretty normal? Oh, okay, good. That's what y'all do? Okay, good. I'm not horrible in that regard. Paimon acting like Catherine, right? Fuck. Alright, as a treat, I am supposed to be saving my shit for fucking, Kusanali, but why not? 1 pull. Oh, I got Xinyan. I like Xinyan. I'm not gonna use her, but I like Xinyan. If I do this, I'm gonna lose out on Kusanali, because like right now I have like a guaranteed pull, and I want to save it for Kusanali. But you know what? I'm gonna do 1 more 10 pull, and if I don't get her, then that's it. Here we go. Why am I fucking doing this? Ugh. No! Fuck! No! 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 It's gonna be fucking Kokomi, I already know. No! No! That's okay. Kokomi's really good. She's the best healer in the game, so I'm not disturbed by that. We're just gonna have to hope and pray I get Kusanali when she comes out. But at least I got her in like 20 pulls. 20 something pulls. Don't worry, I still have like 25,000 primos. We're good, people. And Kusanali's not coming out for a little bit. And I got Dory. I honestly can't believe I fucking pulled her. Okay. Alright, I think that's a good place to end. Thank you for joining the stream. That was very unexpected. You will get Kusanali there still. Yeah. Plus, we're gonna get a whole bunch of more Primo gems from the desert region. And like the quests associated, so I'm not too concerned.
We'll need a strategy.
But,
Why isn't it working? I don't...
there you go. Fucking Kokomi. I hope you're happy. I'll have to build her. Because she's really good. She is pretty good, though. I'm not... Hello, T. TL, TA. How you doing? But we're about to end. You miss me getting Kokomi in 20 fucking wishes. And the anniversary, you're right. And the anniversary, Lucas, you are right. Maybe you can rack up enough wishes to hit the pity guarantee for the Dendro Archon. Maybe, but we'll see. And I am gonna stream my pulls, so... Well, that was fun. Lucky I got to see that. Yes, you got to see that, Matcha. No more life support. Am I F to P? Yes, I am completely free to play. I have not spent a dime on this game. And I do not plan on doing so. What month is the anniversary? Isn't it next month? Or is it this month? Shouldn't we get the anniversary stuff, like, with the next update? So, like, in a few weeks? Because it came out September... The game came out September 20th, right? 2020. Or September 28th, something like that. Yeah, it's like in 2 weeks. Yeah, it's this month.
Let's move out.
Yes, hope for good rewards. Pray for good rewards. I think they've been a little bit better about rewards, if I'm being honest.
Brace yourself.
Yeah, the 23rd, I think. Yeah, oh, okay, yes. Yeah, so when 3.1 drops, so it's coming up real quick, because we only have like a few weeks left of 3.0. And like 3.2 and 3.3 are gonna be pretty quick too. Like they're only 5 weeks, I think, a piece. Because we gotta catch up from the COVID stuff, I believe. I think that's why they've expedited the version releases. I'm hoping we get Kusanali, y'all. Because I want all of the Archons. They better have learned from last year. I don't know. Dilwyn, I don't know. 3.3 will return to normal schedule. Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarification. So only 3.1 and 3.2 are going to be expedited. After this, of course. Oh, they're catching up so they can do Lantern right on time. That makes sense. And also so we can get Fontaine after... When are we getting Fontaine? Is that after the summer stuff? Probably after the summer stuff. You want Kusanali but have no primos. Oh, save! You'll get some. We're gonna get more in 3.1. Like a whole bunch more in the desert stuff. I just hope they don't, like... Because this is what they tend to do. At least from my experience of playing gacha games. Let me get close. What they do sometimes is like... They'll consider like the anniversary rewards. And I feel like they did this the last time the anniversary rolled around. They consider like, oh, we released like a new island or 2 new islands. And that's part of the anniversary stuff. It just felt like they skimped out on Primo gems and were like, here, just explore the islands. That'll give you extra Primos. And I'm like, no, but those were like guaranteed with the exploration stuff. We should get things that are specifically for the anniversary celebration. And once again, we're getting like a new part of a region right on the anniversary. But I'm hoping that we get anniversary rewards, like sufficient ones that are separate from the desert region. I don't know. Anyway, I hear Scaramouche is coming, so I might save up a bit. Oh shit. Sumeru's about to steal all my fucking Primo Gems, because if Scaramouche is coming, let's be real. Because MiHoYo's about to make a whole bunch of money, by the way. Do you know how many people are gonna pull for him
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
if he's coming out? If he's coming out.
Let's play.
But he's another dude I want. He is another dude I want. Damn it, I'm not about to, I'm gonna have to save for a few months again. After the next few months, I'm gonna like have to go on a freeze and not spend anything. The true anniversary is Lantern Rite. Haha, oh god. Please, he's gonna steal my nest egg.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
He gonna steal all of our wallets, by the way. I want 3.1 to come. I want my Sino already. Yes. See, I was gonna pull on Sino, but there's too many... He's coming out way too close to other characters that I really want. So I'm gonna have to skip on Sino. Maybe next year when he comes out. Or whenever they decide to do a re-release. But good luck for everybody who's doing pulls and shit. You're gonna get what you want. You just have to believe in the heart of the cards. The power of the Archons. Pray. Pray to Jesus, pray to God, pray to Allah, whatever you pray to. Pray to the MiHoYo gods. I don't have any Archon. Your Archon is the Hoyoverse. They are the Archons. They are the gods. I'm gonna pull for Kusanali or Scaramouche and hope I lose. And hope if I lose 50-50, I get Tignari cons. Yes. Good luck. Barsabados. I want Candace. Candace looks really cool. I want her too. I'm also very suspicious of her design. I want to learn more about where she's from and the desert region. God, the desert region need to come out now. It needs to come out now. I swear to God. It needs to come out now. Why does she have dead-looking eyes? It's really creepy. But she's cute.
Breathtaking. Let's move out.
Pray to the Tree of Dreams. Pray to me in the game. And I will make all your wishes come true. There's only 2 more weeks, y'all. You want Mona? Pull on the standard banner. Oh, by the way, when we do pull for Kusanali and stuff, we're also going to pull on the standard banner because apparently I have 50 wishes saved up. I didn't even realize I did. All the moon symbolisms, right. I think she has something to do probably with the Scarlet King and the Goddess of Flowers little city that they built. She might be a descendant of the people who used to live there. I refuse to call that thing a tree. It's an overgrown onion. You right, it me. If I don't get Dia, I'm probably gonna cry. I want her so bad. She's also really cool. And the Archon quests made me want her. Because before I was like, I can skip on her. But then I was like, nah, I kind of want her. She's pretty cool. Come here. Okay, actually, I'm not gonna. Yes, pray to me. We are gonna wish here. Or wherever Kusanali is. Wherever Kusanali's hidey hole is, that's where we're gonna wish. Or we're gonna wish here. This is my domain now. This is me. Oh, I didn't even know you could fucking climb this thing. I genuinely thought it was like... I don't know why I thought it was like you would fall through it. Is there like a chest in here somewhere? No.
Here we go.
All you want is all hate. Oh my god, all hate them. Once again, Sumeru is gonna steal all our money. All our primos. But it seems like he's the Yae of Sumeru and won't come out for ages. Oh yeah, he's not coming out forever. Like, it's gonna take a while for him. But he's so cool. Ooh, but we might get a fighting scene between him and Sino. Or at least I hope we do. I hope that scene in the promotional video actually happens. But we will see. From now on, film your videos here. This is my hub now. This is where I'm gonna come to hang out.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
Not a bad idea. Your non-existent primos are dying. Girl, Amethyst, don't worry. You're gonna get some coming right up. The anniversary's coming. The desert region's coming. Onion, can you sum up what you talked about, like in 1 minute? We talked about a lot. We talked about the Moon Sisters and the Seelie. We talked about how the goddess of flowers might have been the Seelie that ended up surviving and then going into the desert and serving or making friends with the king, which is the Scarlet King. That's based on what the Aranara said. We talked about Dottore possibly reviving a dead girlfriend. And that might be his plans or his motivation as to why he wants dreams and shit, because he's trying to revive his dead girlfriend.
Wouldn't gliding be faster?
What else did we talk about? We talked about how Al-Amar is probably a parallel to the primordial one. And Phanes. And that the goddess of flowers parallels with probably the first Seelie. And that the first the goddess of flowers might be inspired in part by Colin Kazlana, and the Scarlet King is probably inspired in part by Auto Apocalypse from Honkai Impact. And we talked about way more. I'm sorry. Actually, I was thinking of if you would sometimes stream when you do the Archon quest, would be pretty cool in my opinion. I don't know, because I prefer to do that stuff on my own. Also, so I can have like, I don't know, so I can record the way that I want to record and like clip things the way I want to clip things. I don't know, I'll think about it. If you guys really want me to, we can test out and see how 3.1's Archon quest will go. Like, I can stream that if you guys want. I don't mind doing that. No, good people will spoil. Oh, that's the other thing. Like, I also don't want people to spoil for me. I might just ignore the chat if that's the case. But because of how all over the place I am, I probably end up looking at it with no lie. But I would have to ask everybody to be on their best behavior. If we're to do it, you guys gotta be on your best behavior and not spoil a thing. A little bit about Baiju. Oh yeah, we talked a little bit about Baiju too. We talked about a lot of shit, damn. We talked about lore books, stuff like that. But yes, I'll think about it. Soleil, I literally wanted and did lose the 50-50, so I have guaranteed pity. Nice. Well, it's fine. Was just a suggestion. We'll see. Don't worry. We will see. Okay, y'all. It's time to go. Thank y'all for joining the stream. Hey, Lance, how you doing? Speculation, watch Nahida spank the sages for being naughty. Yes, I want her to, like, spank some sense into them. Or get temporary mods. That's also an option. That would be very helpful. But yes, thank you guys for watching this stream. I'm glad you guys joined. Oh wow, there were a lot of people in here. Oh wow, over 50. I think that's the most I've ever had. Thank you all for joining. I hope it was interesting and entertaining. And you enjoyed my rambling and talking about lore. I barely did any exploration because I was just like rambling. But I'm glad y'all were here and y'all talked about the stuff. I'm sorry if I didn't read your comments. Leo, I know I didn't read your comment. Let me look. And this makes me think Baiju could be related to Kale. They share hair color and eye color, which is rare considering the playable characters rarely share features except they're related. Yeah, that's interesting. It's possible they might come from the same, I don't know, race or something. I don't know. But that's interesting. I have no idea. Was that the comment you wanted me to read? Oh, Shiba Hime, something about Elazar giving people scales and being subdued by Archon residue, which seems to take the form of a scaled serpent in the manga, keeps me up at night. Yes, and also, ever since, like, the Archon residue took the form of a snake in the manga, all I could think about was the Gnostic chorus. Like, that's all I could think about. That's all I could think about. The Gnostic chorus and the snake protecting the Genesis Pearl. That's literally all I could think about. But anyway. Buenas noches. A ti también. Thank you. Good night. Buenas noches y nos vemos pronto. Oh, thank you. Good night. Good night, everybody. Okay, then I'll try to watch the stream in full tomorrow, although I only have 3 hours on my phone daily. Okay. Well, watch it at your leisure. It's pretty long. I think I've been streaming for almost 4 hours at this point. Around 90 when I joined. It was so nice to listen to you. Thank you. I'm glad y'all enjoyed. Also, plans. So, I'm gonna have to work overtime because I want part 2 to come out before 3.1 is released. It's probably gonna be around 30 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep it at 30 minutes almost exactly. And yeah, hopefully I'll get it out before part 3.1. That is gonna be my mission. So, look out for it. Good night, everybody. Bye. And Baiju does have those snake-like eyes. Yes, he does. He's so sus. Baiju could be a bishop or related to him. He could be like a bishop person. He's so sus. Bye, Amethyst. Bye, Antisocially Socializing. Bye, Akamatsu. Bye, Soleil. Bye, Dilwyn. Bye, Matcha. Bye, Hermes. Bye, Kawaii Beans. Bye, T. Bye, Spidey. Bye, Lucas. Bye, meh. Okay, bye, everyone. Jesus.